A Mental Health Psychology Association Organization Guide. Chapter 1. United States Non-Government Mental Health Associations/Organizations by State. Find U.S. mental health organizations by state online. usrecovery.info/mental-health-organizations/index.htm. healthguideusa.org/state_mental_health_agencies.htm. healthguideusa.org/state_professional_counselors_boards.htm. healthguideusa.org/state_psychiatric_associations.htm. healthguideusa.org/state_psychology_associations.htm. healthguideusa.org/state_psychology_boards.htm. Major mental health associations by state, major NAMI associations by state. Try this formula. .nami.org, al.nami.org, il.nami.org. National Mental Health Association, NMHA. 1021, Prince Street, Alexandria, Virginia 22314-2971. 800-969-6642. nmha.org. Identify an NMHA chapter in your state. Alabama. NAMI, Alabama. 4122 Wall Street, Montgomery, Alabama 36106. 800-626-4199, in AL. 334-396-4797. NAMIalabama.org. Alaska. NAMI, Alaska, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 144 West 15th Avenue, Anchorage, Alaska 99501. 800-478-4462. 907-277-1300. NAMI.org/site/Alaska. Alaska. Alaska Youth and Family Network. Alaskan Families' Voice on Children's Behavioral Health. The Alaska chapter of the Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. POG 23-3142. Anchorage, Alaska 99523-3142. 888-770-4979, in AK. 907-770-4979. ifn@ifn.org. nami.org/site/Alaska. Arizona. Mental Health Association of Arizona. 6411 East Thomas Road, Scottsdale, Arizona 85251. 480-994-4407, EXT11. mharizona.org. Arizona. Arizona Alliance for the Mentally Ill. NAMI, Arizona. 2210 North 7th Street, Phoenix, Arizona 85006-1604. 800-626-5022. 602-244-8166. NAMIAZ@namiaz.org. namiaz.org. Arkansas. Mental Health America in Northwest Arkansas. POG 4714. Fayetteville, Arkansas 72702. 479-571-3024. mhnwa.org. Arkansas. Arkansas Family and Youth Assistance Network, FYAN. 2001, Pershing Circle. Number 300. North Little Rock, Arkansas 72114. 800-342-2923. 501-682-9900. arfyan.org. California. Mental Health Association in California. 1127 11th Street. Number 925. Sacramento, California 95814. 916-557-1167. arcelix@mhac.org. mhac.org. California. United Advocates for Children and Families. 2035, Hurley Way. Number 290. Sacramento, California 95825. 866-643-1530. 916-643-1530. Information at uacc4families.org. uacf4hope.org. California. NAMI, California. 1010, Hurley Way. Number 195. Sacramento, California 95825. 916-567-0163. Support at namicalifornia.org. namicalifornia.org. Colorado. Colorado Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. POG 9086. Englewood, Colorado 80111. 888-569-7500. 303-572-0302. ColoradoFederation.org. Colorado. NAMI, Colorado. 1100 Fillmore Street. Denver, Colorado 80206-3334. 303-321-3104. NAMI-co at NAMI.org. NAMIcolorado.org. Colorado. Mental Health America of Colorado. 1385 South Colorado Boulevard. Number 610. Denver, Colorado 80222. 720-208-2220. Mental Health at mhacolorado.org. mhacolorado.org. Colorado. Empower Colorado, Mental Health. 801 Yosemite Street. Denver, Colorado 80230. 866-213-4631. EmpowerColorado.com. Connecticut. NAMI, Connecticut. 241 Main Street, 5th floor. Hartford, Connecticut 06106. 800-215-3021. 860-882-0236. NAMIST at NAMICT.org. NAMICT.org. Connecticut. Mental Health Association of Connecticut. 20-30 Beaver Road. Number 108. Weathersfield, Connecticut 06109. 860-529-1970. MHAC.org. Delaware. Mental Health Association in Delaware. 100 West 10th Street. Number 600. Wilmington, Delaware 19801. 800-287-6423, INDA. 302-654-6833. MHAInd.org. District of Columbia. NAMI, DC, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 422 8th Street, SE. Washington, D.C. 20003-2832. 202-546-0646. NAMI-DC at juno.com. NAMIDC.org. District of Columbia. Mental Health Association of D.C. 1628 L6th Street, NW 4th floor. Washington, D.C. 20009. 202-265-6363. MHADC.org. District of Columbia. Child and Family Community Support Services. Department of Mental Health Community Support. 821 Howard Road, SE 1st floor. Washington, D.C. 20020. 202-698-1838. dmh.dc.gov. District of Columbia. Florida. NAMI Florida Incorporated. 911 East Park Avenue. Tallahassee, Florida 32301. 850-671-4445. NAMIFL at NAMIFL.org. NAMIFL.org. Georgia. NAMI Georgia, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 3050, Presidential Drive. Number 202. Atlanta, Georgia 30340. 800-728-1052. 770-234-0855. NAMI Georgia at enamiga.org. Enamiga.org. Georgia. Georgia Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. 1381 Metropolitan Parkway. Atlanta, Georgia 30310. 800-832-8645. 404-758-4500. GPSN.org. Georgia. National Mental Health Association of Georgia. 100 Edgewood Avenue, NE. Number 502. Atlanta, Georgia 30303. 404-527-7175. mhgeorgia.org. nmhag.org. Hawaii Mental Health Organizations. Hawaii Families as Allies, Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. 99-209 Monalua Road. Number 305. IAEA Hawaii 96701. 866-361-8825. 808-487-8785. HFAA at hfaa.net. hfaa.net. Hawaii Mental Health Association in Hawaii. 1124 Fort Street Mall, number 205. Honolulu, Hawaii 96813. 808-521-1846. Info at mentalhealth-high.org. mentalhealth-high.org. Hawaii. NAMI Hawaii, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 770 Kapiolani Boulevard. Number 613. Honolulu, Hawaii 96813. 808-591-1297. NAMI Hawaii at hawaiiantel.net. Idaho. Mountain States Group / Mental Health. Office of Consumer Affairs. 1607 W. Jefferson. Boise, Idaho 83702. 208-336-5533, extension 340. mtnstatesgroup.org. Idaho. NAMI Idaho, National Alliance on Mental Illness. epub 68. Albion, Idaho 83311. 208-673-6672. 800-572-9940. NAMI ID at cnet.net. nami.org/site/NAMI Idaho. Illinois. NAMI Illinois, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 218 W. Lawrence. Springfield, Illinois 62704. 800-346-4572. 217-522-1403. NAMI IL at sbcglobal.net. il.nami.org. Illinois. Mental Health America of Illinois. 70 East Lake Street. Number 900. Chicago, Illinois 60601. 312-368-9070. mhi.org. Indiana. Mental Health America in Indiana University. 1431 North Delaware Street. Indianapolis, Indiana 46202. 800-555-6424, in only. 317-638-3501. mhi.net. Indiana. NAMI Indiana, National Alliance on Mental Illness. epub 22697. Indianapolis, Indiana 46222-0697. 800-677-6442. 317-925-9399. NAMI-in at nami.org. NamiIndiana.org. Iowa. Iowa Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. 106 S Booth. Anamosa, Iowa 52205. 888-400-6302. 319-462-2187. Lori at iffcmh.org. iffcmh.org. Iowa. NAMI Iowa, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 5911 Meredith Drive. #E. Des Moines, Iowa 50322-1903. 800-417-0417. 515-254-0417. NAMI Iowa at mchsi.com. NAMIIowa.org. Kansas. Mental Health Association of South Central Kansas. 555 N Woodlawn. Number 3105. Wichita, Kansas 67208. 316-685-1821, extension 224. mhack.org. Kansas. NAMI Kansas, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 112 SW 6th. Number 505. epub 675. Topeka, Kansas 66601. 785-233-0755. 800-539-2660. NAMI Kansas at nami.org. NAMIKansas.org. Kentucky. Kentucky Mental Health Coalition. 120 Sears Avenue. Number 212. Louisville, Kentucky 40207. 502-894-0222. Action Office at bellsouth.net. advocakiaction.net. Kentucky. NAMI Kentucky. 10510 LaGrange Road, Building 103. Louisville, Kentucky 40223. 606-451-6935. 800-257-5081. NAMI.org. Kentucky. Kentucky Partnership for Families and Children, Mental Health. 207 Holmes Street, 1st floor. Frankfort, Kentucky 40601. 800-369-0533. 502-875-1320. KPFC at kypartnership.net. kypartnership.net. Kentucky. Mental Health America of Kentucky. 120 Sears Avenue. Number 213. Louisville, Kentucky 40207. 888-705-0463. 502-893-0460. mhack at mhack.org. mhack.org. Kentucky. Mental Health Association of Northern Kentucky. 605 Madison Avenue. Covington, Kentucky 41011. 859-431-1077. mhack at mhack.org. mhack.org. Louisiana. NAMI Louisiana, National Alliance on Mental Illness. epub 40517. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70835. 866-851-6264. 225-926-8770. NAMI Louisiana at bellsouth.net. NAMILouisiana.org. Louisiana. Louisiana Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. 5627 Superior Drive. #A2. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70816-6085. 800-224-4010. 225-293-3508. lafcmh.org. Louisiana. Mental Health America of Louisiana. 660 North Foster Drive. Hashtag C201. Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806. 225-201-1930. yblack@mhal.org. mhal.org. Maine. NAMI Maine, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 1 Bangor Street. Augusta, Maine 04330. 800-464-5767, in me only. 207-622-5767. NAMIMaine.org. Maryland. NAMI MD, National Alliance on Mental Illness of Maryland. 10630 Little Patuxent Parkway. Columbia, Maryland 21044. 877-878-2371. 410-884-8691. NAMIMD@NAMI.org. NAMIMD.org. Maryland. Mental Health Association of Maryland. 711 West 40th Street. Number 460. Baltimore, Maryland 21211. 800-572-6426. 410-235-1178. info@mhamd.org. mhamd.org. Massachusetts. NAMI Massachusetts. 400 West Cummings Park. Number 6650. Woburn, Massachusetts 01801. 800-370-9085. 781-938-4048. namimass@aol.com. namimass.org. Massachusetts. Parent/Professional Advocacy League, PAL. 45 Bromfield Street, 10th floor. Boston, Massachusetts 02108. 866-815-8122. 617-542-7860. info@ppal.net. ppal.net. Michigan. Association for Children's Mental Health. 100 W Washtenaw. Number 4. Lansing, Michigan 48933. 517-372-4016. 888-226-4543, parent line. ajwinans@aol.com. acmh-me.org. Michigan. Michigan Association for Children with Emotional Disorders. 30233 Southfield Road. Number 219. Southfield, Michigan 48076. 248-433-2200. mikehkids.org. Michigan. Mental Health Association in Michigan. 30233 Southfield Road. Number 220. Southfield, Michigan 48076. 248-647-1711. mha-me.org. Minnesota. NAMI Minnesota, National Alliance on Mental Illness. 800 Transfer Road. Hashtag 7A. St. Paul, Minnesota, 55114. 651-645-2948. 888, NAMI Helps. NAMI-MN@NAMI.org. NAMIMN.org. Minnesota. Mental Health Association of Minnesota. 475 N Cleveland, number 222. St. Paul, Minnesota 55104. 800-862-1799. 651-493-6634. info@mentalhealthmn.org. mentalhealthmn.org. Minnesota. Minnesota Association for Children's Mental Health. 165 Western Avenue. Number 2. St. Paul, Minnesota, 55102. 651-644-7333. 800-528-4511. info@macmh.org. macmh.org. Mississippi. Mississippi Families as Allies for Children's Mental Health. 5166 Keel Street Building A. Jackson, Mississippi 39206. 601-981-1618. 800-833-9671. info@msfacmh.org. msfacmh.org. Mississippi. NAMI, Mississippi. 411 Briarwood Drive. Number 401. Jackson, Mississippi 39206. 601-899-9058. NAMIMiss1@aol.com. Mississippi. Mental Health Association of the Capital Area. 407 Briarwood Drive. Number 208. Jackson, Mississippi 39206. 601-956-2800. mhajxn@aol.com. Mississippi. Mental Health Association of Mississippi. 4803 Harrison Circle. Gulfport, Mississippi 39507. 228-864-6274. mhagpdms@aol.com. Missouri. National Alliance on Mental Illness, Missouri. 1001 Southwest Boulevard. #E. Jefferson City, Missouri 65109. 573-634-7727. 800-374-2138. NAMIMOChildren@aol.com. Missouri. Mental Health Association of Greater St. Louis. 1905 South Grand Boulevard. St. Louis, Missouri, 63104 to 1542. 314-773-1399. mhagsdl.org. Montana. Family Support Network, FSN. 1211 Grand. Number 6. Billings, Montana 59102. 406-256-7783. fsn2@aol.com. mtfamilysupport.org. Montana. Montana Mental Health Association. POB 88. Bozeman, Montana 59771. 406-589-7774. 888-927-6642. info@montanamentalhealth.org. montanamentalhealth.org. NAMI, Arkansas. 712 West 3rd Street. Number 200. Little Rock, Arkansas 72201. 800-844-0381. 501-661-1548. NAMI-AR@NAMI.org. ar.nami.org. Nebraska. Nebraska Family Support Network. 3568 Dodge Street. #2. Omaha, Nebraska 68131-3222. 800-245-6081. 402-345-0791 EXT 204. nfsn@nefamilysupport.org. Nebraska. NAMI, Nebraska. 1941 South 42nd Street. Number 517. Omaha, Nebraska 68105. 877-463-6264. 402-345-8101. NAMI, Nebraska@nami.org. nami.org/site/NE. Nevada. NAMI, Nevada. 1170 Curdy Drive. Reno, Nevada 89502. 775-322-1346. nami-nevada.org. New Jersey. Mental Health Association in New Jersey. 88 Pompton Avenue. Number 1. Verona, New Jersey 07044 973 571 4100. info@mhanj.org. mhanj.org. New Mexico. NAMI, New Mexico. POG 3086. Albuquerque, New Mexico 87190-3086. 800-953-6745. 505-260-0154. NAMINM@aol.com. NAMI.org. New Jersey. NAMI, New Jersey. 1562 Route 130. North Brunswick, New Jersey 08902. 732-940-0991. info@naminewjersey.org. naminewjersey.org. New Hampshire. NAMI, New Hampshire. National Alliance on Mental Illness, New Hampshire. 15 Green Street. Concord, New Hampshire 03301. 603-225-5359. 800-242-6264, in NH. info@naminh.org. naminh.org. New York. Families Together in New York State Incorporated. 737 Madison Avenue. Albany, New York 12208. 518-432-0333. 888-326-8644, in New York. info@fnetis.org. fnetis.org. New Hampshire. Granite State Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. C/OACS. 340 Commercial Street, 2nd floor. Manchester, New Hampshire 03101. 603-785-7948. gsffcmh@aol.com. New York. National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, New York State. 260 Washington Avenue. Albany, New York 12208. 518-462-2000. 800-950-3228. info@enaminis.org. enaminis.org. New Mexico. Families for Children's Mental Health and Brain Injury. New Mexico Brain Injury Alliance. 3232 Candelaria, NE. Albuquerque, New Mexico 87107. 505-292-7414. 888-292-7415. braininjurynm.org. New York. Mental Health Association of New York State. 194 Washington Avenue. Number 415. Albany, New York 12210. 518-434-0439. 800-766-6177. info@mhaney's.org. mhaney's.org. North Carolina. Mental Health Association in North Carolina. 1331 Sunday Drive. Raleigh, North Carolina 27607. 919-981-0740. mha-nc.org. North Dakota. Mental Health America of North Dakota. 523 North 4th Street. POG 4106. Bismarck, North Dakota 58502-4106. 701-391-8824. mhand.org. North Carolina. NAMI, North Carolina. 309 West Millbrook Road. Number 121. Raleigh, North Carolina 27609. 800-451-9682, in NC. 919-788-0801. Mail at naminc.org. naminc.org. Ohio. NAMI, Ohio. 747 East Broad Street. Columbus, Ohio 43205. 614-224-2700, 800-686-2646, 866-924-1478, TTY. NAMIOhio.org. Oklahoma. NAMI, Oklahoma. 500 N Broadway. Number 100. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73102. 800-583-1264, in OK. 405-230-1900. NAMI-OK@swbell.net. OK.nami.org. Oklahoma. Mental Health Association of Central Oklahoma. 2800 Northwest 36th Street. Number 104. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma 73112. 405-943-3700. info@mentalhealthhawk.org. mentalhealthhawk.org. Oregon. Mental Health Association of Oregon, MHAO. Regional Research Institute, RRI. Portland State University. 1600 Southwest 4th Avenue. Number 900. epub 751. Portland, Oregon 97207-0751. 503-725-5953. Oregon. NAMI, Oregon. 3550 SE. Woodward. Portland, Oregon 97202-1552. 503-230-8009. 800-343-6264, in or. NAMI Aragon@quest.net. NAMI.org/Oregon. Oregon. Oregon Family Support Network Incorporated. 2411 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Number 274. Eugene, Oregon 97401. 541-342-2876. 800-323-8521. OFSN.org. Pennsylvania. Family and Youth Support and Advocacy Division. Mental Health Association of Southeastern Pennsylvania. 1211 Chestnut Street, 11th floor. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania 19107. 800-688-4226, extension 513. 215-751-1800, extension 513. pin@pinofpa.org. pinofpa.org. Pennsylvania. NAMI, Pennsylvania. 2149 N. 2nd Street. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania 17110. 800-223-0500. 717-238-1514. NAMI-PA@NAMI.org. NAMIPA.NAMI.org. Rhode Island. Mental Health Association of Rhode Island. 500 Prospect Street. Pawtucket, Rhode Island 02860. 401-726-2285. emhurry@emhurry.org. emhurry.org. Rhode Island. Parent Support Network of Rhode Island. Crossroads Common Plaza. 1395 Atwood Avenue. Number 114. Johnston, Rhode Island 02919. 800-483-8844, in RI. 401-467-6855. psnri.org. Rhode Island. NAMI, Rhode Island. 154 Waterman Street. Hashtag 5B. Providence, Rhode Island 02906. 800-749-3197. 401-331-3060. NAMIRhodeIsland.org. South Carolina. Mental Health Association in South Carolina. 1823 Gadsden Street. Columbia, South Carolina 29201. 803-779-5363. mh-sc.org. South Dakota. NAMI South Dakota. epub 88808. Sioux Falls, South Dakota 57109. 800-551-2531. NAMISD@midconetwork.com. NAMI.org/site/NAMIZOUTH Dakota. South Carolina. NAMI of South Carolina. epub 1267. Columbia, South Carolina 29202. 803-733-9591/9592. 800-788-5131. NAMIC@NAMIC.org. NAMIC.org. South Carolina. Federation of Families of South Carolina. 810 Dutch Square Boulevard. Number 205. Columbia, South Carolina 29210. 803-772-5210. 866-779-0402. info@fedfamsc.org. fedfamsc.org. Tennessee. Mental Health Association of Middle Tennessee. 2416 21st Avenue South. Number 201. Nashville, Tennessee 37212. 615-269-5355. foreignfo@mhamt.org. ichoke.com. Tennessee. Tennessee Voices for Children. 701 Bradford Avenue. Nashville, Tennessee 37204. 615-269-7751. 800-670-9982. tvc@tnvoices.org. tnvoices.org. Tennessee. Tennessee Respite Network. 701 Bradford Avenue. Nashville, Tennessee 37204. 800-670-9882. 615-269-7751. tvc@tnvoices.org. tnvoices.org. Tennessee. Citadel, Executive Director. NAMI Tennessee. 1101 Kermit Drive. Number 605. Nashville, Tennessee 37217. 800-467-3589, in TN. 615-361-6608. NAMI10.org. Texas MH. Mental Health America of Texas. 1210 San Antonio. Number 200. Austin, Texas 78701. 512-454-3706. mhatexas.org. Texas. NAMI Texas. Fountain Park Plaza 3. 2800 South IH35. Number 140. Austin, Texas 78704. 512-693-2000. 800-633-3760. namitexas.org. Texas. Texas Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. 7800 Shoal Creek Road 243S. Austin, Texas 78752. 512-407-8844. 866-893-3264. txffcmh.org. Texas. Council of Families for Children. epub 14259. Austin, Texas 78714-2591. info@counciloffamilies.org. counciloffamilies.org. Utah. Allies with Families. 450 East 1000 North. Number 311. North Salt Lake, Utah 84054. 801-433-2595. 877-477-0764. Allies at allieswithfamilies.org. Allieswithfamilies.org. Utah. Mental Health Association in Utah. 1800 Southwest Temple. Number 501. Salt Lake City, Utah 84115. 801-596-3705. Emote at xmission.com. Emote.org. Utah. NAMI, Utah. 450 South 900 East. Salt Lake City, Utah 84102. 801-323-9900. NAMIUT.org. Vermont. Vermont Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. POG 507. Waterbury, Vermont 05676-0507. 800-639-6071, Families Only. 802-434-6757. VFFCMH at vffcmh.org. vffcmh.org. Vermont. NAMI, Vermont. 132 South Main Street. Waterbury, Vermont 05676. 800-639-6480. 802-244-1396. Info at namivt.org. namivt.org. Virginia. Mental Health America of Virginia. 3212 Cutchaw Avenue. Number 315. Richmond, Virginia 23230. 866-400-6428. 804-225-5591. Director at mhav.org. Programs at mhav.org. mhav.org. Virginia. NAMI, Virginia. POB 8260. Richmond, Virginia 23226. 804-285-8264. NAMIVA at comcast.net. NAMIVA.org. West Virginia. NAMI WV, National Alliance for Mental Illness in WV. POB 2706. Charleston, West Virginia 25330-2706. 304-342-0497. NAMIWV at AOL.com. NAMIWV.org. West Virginia. Mountain State Parents Can. 1201 Garfield Street. McMecken, West Virginia 26040. 800-244-5385. 304-233-5399. MSPcan.org. West Virginia. Mental Health Association in the Greater Kanawha Valley Incorporated. 1 United Way Square. Charleston, West Virginia 25301-1098. 304-340-3512. MHA at wvinter.net. MHA-Kanawha.org. Wisconsin. Mental Health America of Wisconsin. 734 North 4th Street. Number 200. Milwaukee, Wisconsin 53203. 866-948-6483. 414-276-3122. Info at mhawisconsin.org. mhawisconsin.org. Wisconsin. Wisconsin Family Ties. 16 North Carroll Street. Number 640. Madison, Wisconsin 53703. 800-422-7145, Parents Only. 608-267-6888. Info at wifamilyties.org. wifamilyties.org. Wisconsin. NAMI, Wisconsin. 4223 West Beltline Highway. Madison, Wisconsin 53711. 800-236-2988. 608-268-6000. NAMI at namiwisconsin.org. NAMIWisconsin.org. Wyoming. NAMI Wyoming. 133 W 6th. Casper, Wyoming 82601. 888-882-4968. 307-265-2573. NAMI-WYO@quest.net. NAMIWyoming.org. Wyoming. Uplift. 4007 Greenway Street. Number 201. Cheyenne, Wyoming 82001. 888-875-4383. 307-778-8686. upliftwy.org. Chapter 2. U.S. State Psychology, Social Work, Speech Pathology, and Audiology Associations and Boards. State Psychology Associations. alapsych.org, Alabama Psychological Association. ak-pa.org, Alaska Psychological Association. azpa.org, Arizona Psychological Association. arpapsych.org, Arkansas Psychological Association. calpsichlink.org, California Psychological Association. coloradopsych.org, Colorado Psychological Association. conpsych.org, Connecticut Psychological Association. dpsych.org, Delaware Psychological Association. dcpsychology.org, District of Columbia Psychological Association. flapsych.com, Florida Psychological Association. gapsychology.org, Georgia Psychological Association. hawaiipsych.org, Hawaii Psychological Association. idahopsych.org, Idaho Psychological Association. illinoispsychology.org, Illinois Psychological Association. indianapsychologist.org/displaycommon.cfm?1, Indiana Psychological Association. iowapsychology.org, Iowa Psychological Association. kspsych.org, Kansas Psychological Association. kpa.org Psychological Association. louisianapsychologist.org, Louisiana Psychological Association. mepia.org, Maine Psychological Association. marylandpsychology.org, Maryland Psychological Association. masspsych.org, Massachusetts Psychological Association. mikehpsych.org Psychological Association. mnpsych.org Psychological Association. mpassociation.org Psychological Association. mopsych.org, Missouri Psychological Association. wtp.net/mpa, Montana Psychological Association. nebpsych.org, Nebraska Psychological Association. nevadapsychologists.org, Nevada State Psychological Association. nhpaonline.org, New Hampshire Psychological Association. psychologynewjersey.org, New Jersey Psychological Association. nmpia.com, New Mexico Psychological Association. NYSPA.org, New York State Psychological Association. ncpsychology.com, North Carolina Psychological Association. opsych.org, Ohio Psychological Association. okpsych.org, Oklahoma Psychological Association. opa.org, Oregon Psychological Association. papsy.org, Pennsylvania Psychological Association. ripsych.org, Rhode Island Psychological Association. scpia.af, phoenixscape.com, South Carolina Psychological Association. cisd.org, South Dakota Psychological Association. tpaonline.org, Tennessee Psychological Association. texaspsych.org, Texas Psychological Association. cfd45.cfdynamics.com/nexuscomputer/upa/index.cfm, Utah Psychological Association. vermontpsych.org, Vermont Psychological Association. vapsych.org, Virginia Psychological Association. wapsych.org, Washington State Psychological Association. wvpsychology.org, West Virginia Psychological Association. wypsychology.org, Wisconsin Psychological Association. wypsych.org, Wyoming Psychological Association. State Psychology Boards 1. Psychology.state.al.us, Alabama State Psychology Board. commerce.alaska.gov/web/cbpl/professional licensing/board of psychologists.aspx, Alaska Psychology Board. psychboard.az.gov, Arizona Board of Psychologist Examiners. psychologyboard.arkansas.gov, Arkansas State Psychology Board. psychboard.ca.gov, California State Psychology Board. colorado.gov/pacific/doras/psychologist, Colorado Psychologist Examiners Board. ct.gov/dph/cwp/view.asp?sign 314388938$DPHNAV_gid=18330, Connecticut Psychologist Licensing. dpr.delaware.gov/board/psychology/index.shtml, Delaware State Psychology Board. floridapsychology.gov, Florida State Psychology Board. sos.ga.gov/index.php/licensing/plb/44, Georgia State Psychology Board. cca.hawaii.gov/pvl/board/psychology, Hawaii Psychology Licensing. ebol.idaho.gov/ebol/boardpage.aspx?Bureau =, Idaho State Board of Psychologist Examiners. idfpr.com/prof/psych.asp, Illinois Psychology Licensing. in.gov/pla/psych.htm, Indiana Psychology Board. idph.state.ia.us/lickensure/board_home.asp?board=, Iowa State Psychology Board Examiners. ksbsrb.org/psychologists.html, Kansas Behavioral Sciences Regulatory Board. psy.gov/pages/default.aspx State Psychology Board. lsbep.org, Louisiana Psychology Board. maine.gov/pfr/professional licensing/profession/psychologists/index.htm, Maine Psychologists Licensing. dhmh.maryland.gov/psych1/pages/home.aspx, Maryland State Psychology Board. mass.gov/dpl/board/pi/index.htm, Massachusetts Board of Registration in Psychology. michigan.gov/lara/04601 7-154-35299_63294_27529_27552 00.html Psychology Board. psychologyboard.state.mn.us Psychology Board. psychologyboard.state.ms.us/pages/default.aspx Board of Psychologist Examiners. pr.mo.gov/psychologists.asp, Missouri State Committee of Psychologists. bsd.li.mt.gov/license/bsd_board/psy_board/board_page.asp, Montana Board of Psychologist Examiners. dhhs.ne.gov/public health/pages/crl_mhcs_psych_psych.aspx, Nebraska Psychology Licensing. psyexam.state.nv.us, Nevada Psychological Examiners Board. state.nh.us/mhpb/index.html, New Hampshire Board of Mental Health Practice. New Jersey Consumer Affairs.gov/psy, New Jersey Board of Psychological Examiners. rld.state.nm.us/board/psychologist_examiners.aspx, New Mexico Psychologist Examiners Board. op.nis.gov/prof/psych, New York Psychology Licensing. ncpsychologyboard.org, North Carolina Psychology Board. ndsbpe.org/index.html, North Dakota Psychology Board. psychology.ohio.gov, Ohio Board of Psychologist Examiners. obpe.state.or.us, Oregon Board of Psychologist Examiners. dos.pa.gov/professional licensing/boards commission/psychology/pages/default.aspx, Pennsylvania Psychology Board. health.ri.gov/licenses/detail.php?id=$241, Rhode Island Board of Psychology. llr.state.sc.us/poll/psychology/index.asp, South Carolina Psychology Board. dss.sd.gov/licensing board/psych.aspx, South Dakota Board of Psychologist Examiners. tn.gov/health/topic/psych-board, Tennessee Psychology Board. tsbep.state.tx.us/index.html, Texas Board of Psychologist Examiners. dopl.utah.gov/licensing/psychology.html, Utah Psychologist Licensing Board. sec.state.vt.us/professional-regulation/list-of-professions/psychological-examiners.aspx, Vermont Psychology Board. dhp.virginia.gov/psychology, Virginia Board of Psychologist Examiners. doh.wa.gov/licenses permits and certificates/professions new renew or PD8/psychologist, Washington Board of Psychologist Examiners. wvpsechbd.org, West Virginia Board of Examiners of Psychologist. dsps.wi.gov/licenses permit s registration/credentialing-division-home-page/health-professions/psychologist, Wisconsin Psychologist Licensing. plboards.state.wy.us/psychology/index.asp, Wyoming Board of Psychologist Examiners.state. State Psychology Boards 2. Alabama. Alabama Board of Examiners in Psychology. Greer L. Burns, Executive Officer. 660 Adams Avenue, Suite 360. Montgomery, Alabama 36104. 334-242-4127. Psychology.state.al.us. Alabama Board of Examiners in Psychology. The State of Alabama Board of Examiners in Psychology. Psychology.state.al.us. Alaska. Alaska Board of Psychologist and Psychological Associate Examiners. POG 110806. Juneau, Alaska 99811-0806. Phone 907-465-3811. commerce.alaska.gov/web/cbpl/professional licensing/board of psychologists.aspx. Arizona. Arizona Board of Psychologist Examiners. 1400 W. Washington, Suite 235. Phoenix, Arizona 85007. Phone 602-542-3095. psychboard.az.gov. Arkansas Board of Examiners in Psychology. Arkansas Board of Examiners in Psychology. arkansas.gov/app. California. California Board of Psychology. 1422 Howe Avenue, Suite 22. Sacramento, California 95825-3200. Phone 916-263-2696. State of California Board of Psychology. The State of California Board of Psychology. psychboard.ca.gov. Psychiatric Technician Licensee. $.plf/wll_pub/wll_qre_pub/wll_qre_pub/p_ampersand p_qt_e_code=p_pub/pub/p_ampersand p_qt_e_code=p_ampersand breeze.ca.gov/datamart/search-by-name.do Colorado. Colorado Board of Psychologist Examiners. 1560 Broadway, Suite 1370. Denver, Colorado 80202. Phone 303-894-7770. dora.state.co.us/mental-health. dora.state.co.us/mental-health/psy. Connecticut Licensing Information Center. ct-clic.agency/agency-license.asp $19$view=all$p=none. Delaware Board of Examiners and Psychologists. The State of Delaware Board of Examiners and Psychologists. Professional licensing.state.de.us/board/psychology/index.html. District of Columbia Department of Health. District of Columbia's Department of Health website, Psychology Licensee Search Engine. app.hbla.doh.dc.gov/web lookup. Florida Board of Psychology. floridapsychology.gov. Georgia State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. State of Georgia's Board of Examiners and Psychologists. sos.ga.gov/index.php/licensing/plb/44. State of Hawaii Department of Commerce and Consumer Affairs, Psychology. hawaii.gov/dcca/area/pvl/board/psychology. State of Idaho Board of Psychologists Examiners. State of Idaho Board of Psychologists Examiners. ebol.idaho.gov/ebol/boardpage.aspx?bureau=psi. Illinois. Illinois Clinical Psychologists Licensing and Disciplinary Committee. Department of Professional Regulation. 320 West Washington Street, 3rd floor. Springfield, Illinois 62786. Phone 217-785-0800. idfpr.com. Iowa. Iowa Board of Psychology Examiners. Department of Public Health. 321 East 12th Street, Lucas State Office Building. 4th floor. Des Moines, Iowa 50319-0075. Phone 515-242-5936. psychcentral.com. Kansas. Kansas Behavioral Sciences Regulatory Board. 712 South Kansas Avenue. Topeka, Kansas 66603-3817. Phone 785-296-3240. ksbsrb.org. Massachusetts. Massachusetts Board of Registration of Psychologists. Division of Registration. 239 Causeway Street. Boston, Massachusetts 02114. Phone 617-727-9925. mass.gov/ocabr/licensee/dpl-board/pi. Minnesota. Minnesota Board of Psychology. 2829 University Avenue Southeast Suite 320. St. Paul, Minnesota 55414 to 3237. Phone 612-617-2230. mn.gov/board/psychology. Missouri. Missouri State Committee of Psychologists. 3605 Missouri Boulevard. Pub 1335. Jefferson City, Missouri 65102-1335. Phone 573-751-0099. scop@pr.mo.gov. pr.mo.gov/psychologists.asp. New Hampshire. New Hampshire Board of Mental Health Practice. 105, Pleasant Street, Room 204C. Concord, New Hampshire, 03301. Phone, 603-271-6762. nh.gov/mhpb. New York. New York State Board for Psychology. NICE Education Department. Cultural EDUC. CTR. Room 3041. Albany, New York, 12230. Phone, 518-474-3866. op.nice.gov/prof/psych. Ohio. Ohio State Board of Psychology. 77, South High Street. 18th FL. Columbus, Ohio, 43266-0321. Phone, 614-466-8808. Psychology.ohio.gov. Oklahoma. Oklahoma State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. 421 Northwest 13th Street, Suite 180. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 73103. 405/522-1333. ok.gov/psychology. Oregon. Oregon State Board of Psychologist Examiners. 3218 Pringle Road. SE, STE 130. Salem, Oregon, 97302-6309. Phone, 503-378-4154. Licenseinfo.oregon.gov/?fuse action =welcome_keyword. South Carolina. South Carolina Board of Examiners in Psychology. POG 11329. Columbia, South Carolina, 29211-1329. Phone, 803-896-4664. llr.state.sc.us/poll/psychology. South Dakota. Psychologist Examiners. 810 North Main Street, Suite 298. Spearfish, South Dakota, 57783. Phone, 605-642-1600. Fax, 605-722-1006. Proflick@rushmore.com. dss.sd.gov/licensingboard/psych.aspx. State of Iowa Board of Psychology Examiners. State of Iowa Board of Psychology Examiners. idph.iowa.gov/licensure/iowa-board-of-psychology. State of Louisiana Board of Examiners of Psychologists. State of Louisiana Board of Examiners of Psychologists. lsbep.org. State of Maryland Board of Examiners of Psychologists. State of Maryland Board of Examiners of Psychologists. dhmh.maryland.gov/psych/pages/home.aspx. State of Michigan Board of Psychology. michigan.gov/laras/0-4601 7-154-35299_63294_27529_27552-59190 00.html. State of Minnesota Board of Psychology. mn.gov/health-licensing-board/psychology/licensees. State of Mississippi Board of Psychology. State of Mississippi Board of Psychological Examiners. psychologyboard.ms.gov/pages/default.aspx. State of Montana Board of Psychologists. State of Montana Board of Psychologists. bsd.dli.mt.gov/license/bsd_board/psy_board/board_page.asp. State of Nebraska Health and Human Services System Board of Examiners of Psychologists. The State of Nebraska Board of Examiners of Psychologists. dhhs.ne.gov/publichealth/pages/crl_mhcs_psych_psych.aspx. State of Nevada Board of Psychological Examiners. 4600, Kayetsk Lane. B116 Reno, Nevada, 89502. psyexam.nv.gov. State of New Hampshire Board of Mental Health Practice. nh.gov/mhpb/index.html. State of New Jersey Board of Psychological Examiners. The State of New Jersey Board of Psychological Examiners. state.nj.us/lps/ca/medical.htm number sign Psi 13. State of New Mexico Board of Psychologist Examiners. rld.state.nm.us/board/psychologist_examiners.aspx. State of North Carolina Psychology Board. ncpsychologyboard.org. State of North Dakota Board of Psychologists Examiners. governor.state.nd.us/board/boards-query.asp?board_id=88. State of Oklahoma Board of Examiners of Psychologists. okmedicalboard.org. State of Oregon Board of Psychologist Examiners. obpe.state.or.us. State of Pennsylvania Board of Psychology. dos.state.pa.us/bpoa/cwp/view.asp?q=104%q=4333051. State of Rhode Island Board of Psychology. sos.ri.gov/open-meeting/question-page=view_entity&id=288. State of Utah Psychological Association Board. utpsych.org. State of Vermont Secretary of State, Board of Psychological Examiners. secure.vtprofessionals.org/lookup/license-lookup.aspx. The State of Virginia Board of Psychology. dhp.virginia.gov/mylicense/renewalintro.asp. State of Washington Psychology Board. doh.wa.gov/licenses permits and certificates/professions new renew or pd8/psychologist.aspx. The State of Wisconsin Psychology Licensing Board. drl.wi.gov/profession.asp?prof ID=44 los ID=0. Tennessee Board of Examiners in Psychology. 426 5th Avenue North. Cordell Hull Building, 1st floor. Nashville, Tennessee, 37247-1010. Phone, 615-532-5127. tn.gov/health/topic/psych-board. Texas State Board of Examiners of Psychologists. 333 Guadalupe, Tower 2, Room 450. Austin, Texas, 78701. Phone, 512-305-7700. tsbep.state.tx.us. The West Virginia Board of Examiners of Psychologists. The State of West Virginia Psychologists Licensure. wvpschbd.org. Utah Psychologist Licensing Board. Division of Occupational and Professional Licensing. 160 E300S, Box 146741. Salt Lake City, Utah 84114-6741. Phone, 801-530-6628. dopl.utah.gov/licensing/psychology.html. Virginia Board of Psychology. 6606 West Broad Street, 5th floor. Richmond, Virginia 23230-1717. Phone, 804-662-9913. secure01.virginia-interactive.org/dhp/cgi-bin/search_public-db.cgi. Wisconsin. Wisconsin Psychology Examining Board. Department of Regulation and Licensing. Bureau of Health Service Professions. epub 8935. Madison, Wisconsin, 53708-8935. Phone, 608-267-7223. drl.wi.gov/index.htm. Wyoming. Wyoming State Board of Psychology. 2020, Cary Avenue No. 201. Cheyenne, Wyoming, 82002. Phone, 307-777-6529. dbridg@state.wy.us. plboards.state.wy.us/psychology/index.asp. State Social Work Boards. abswe.state.al.us, Alabama State Social Work Board. commerce.alaska.gov/web/cbpl/professional licensing/social work examiners.aspx, Alaska Board of Social Work Examiners. azbbe.us, Arizona Board of Behavioral Health Examiners. arkansas.gov/swlb, Arkansas State Social Work Board. bbs.ca.gov, California Board of Behavioral Sciences. colorado.gov/pacific/doras/social_work, Colorado State Social Work Board. ct.gov/dph/cwp/view.asp?*3121$q=3896004, Connecticut Social Work Licensing. dpr.delaware.gov/board/social workers/index.shtml, Delaware Board of Clinical Social Work Examiners. Florida's mentalhealthprofessions.gov, Florida Board of Clinical Social Work. sos.ga.gov/index.php/licensing/plb/43, Georgia State Social Work Board. cca.hawaii.gov/pvl/program/social worker, Hawaii Social Worker Licensing. ebol.idaho.gov/ebol/boardpage.aspx ? Bureau =SWO, Idaho State Social Work Board. idfpr.com/prof/socialworker.asp, Illinois Social Worker Licensing. in.gov/pla/social.htm, Indiana Social Worker Board. idph.iowa.gov/licensure/iowa-board-of-social-work, Iowa Board of Social Work Examiners. ksbsrb.org/social-workers.html, Kansas Social Worker Licensing. bsw.ky.gov/pages/default.aspx State Social Work Board. labswe.org, Louisiana Board of Social Work Examiners. state.me.us/pfr/professional licensing/profession/social_workers/index.html, Maine Social Worker Licensing. dhmh.maryland.gov/bsway/pages/default.aspx, Maryland Board of Social Work Examiners. mass.gov/dpl/board/sw, Massachusetts Board of Social Workers. michigan.gov/mdch/0-1607, 7-132-27417_27529_27554, 00.html Board of Social Work. socialwork.state.mn.us Board of Social Work. swmft.ms.gov/swmft/web.nsf State Social Work Board. pr.mo.gov/socialworkers.asp, Missouri State Committee for Social Workers. b.sd.dli.mt.gov/license/bsd_board/bbh_board/board_page.asp, Montana Board of Social Work Examiners. dhhs.ne.gov/public-health/pages/crl_mhcs_mental_csw require.aspx, Nebraska Certified Social Work Licensing. socwork.nv.gov, Nevada Board of Examiners for Social Workers. state.nh.us/mhpb/index.html, New Hampshire Board of Mental Health Practice. New Jersey ConsumerAffairs.gov/sw/pages/default.aspx, New Jersey Board of Social Work Examiners. rld.state.nm.us/board/social_work.aspx, New Mexico Board of Social Work Examiners. op.nis.gov/prof/sw, New York Social Work Licensing. ncswboard.org, North Carolina State Social Work Board. ndbsway.com, North Dakota Board of Social Work Examiners. cswmft.ohio.gov, Ohio Counselors and Social Worker Board. osblsw.state.ok.us, Oklahoma State Board of Licensed Social Workers. oregon.gov/blsw/pages/index.aspx, Oregon State Board of Licensed Clinical Social Workers. dos.pa.gov/professional licensing/boards commission/social workers. Maria Jean Fami therapists and professional counselors/pages/default.aspx, Pennsylvania Board of Social Workers. health.ri.gov/licenses/detail.php?id=245, Rhode Island Board of Examiners in Social Workers. llr.state.sc.us/poll/social workers/index.asp, South Carolina Board of Social Work Examiners. dss.sd.gov/licensing board/social.aspx, South Dakota Board of Social Worker Examiners. tn.gov/health/topic/sw-board, Tennessee State Social Work Board. dshs.state.tx.us/socialwork/default.shtm, Texas Board of Social Work Examiners. dopl.utah.gov/licensing/social_work.html, Utah Social Worker Licensing Board. sec.vt.us/professional-regulation/list-of-professions/social-workers.aspx, Vermont Clinical Social Worker Licensing. dhp.virginia.gov/social, Virginia Board of Social Work. doh.wa.gov/licenses permits and certificates/professions new renew or PD8/social worker, Washington Licensed Social Worker Program. wvsocialworkboard.org, West Virginia Board of Social Work Examiners. dsps.wi.gov/default.aspx $?-335BC0-2961-41065-607-40C7B63001-2F, Wisconsin Social Work Examining Board. plboards.state.wy.us/mental health, Wyoming Mental Health Professions Licensing Board. United States Social Worker License Lookup. socialwork.alabama.gov/search.aspx, Alabama Social Worker License Lookup. commerce.alaska.gov/cbp/main/cbpl search.aspx ? Mode $, Alaska License Lookup, includes social workers. azbbe.us/node/3, Arizona Social Worker License Search. accessarkansas.org/swlb/search/index.html, Arkansas Social Worker Lookup. breeze.ca.gov, California Social Worker License Lookup. colorado.gov/dora/licensing/lookup/license lookup.aspx, Colorado License Lookup, includes social worker. elicense.ct.gov/lookup/license lookup.aspx, Connecticut Health License Lookup. dpronline.delaware.gov/mylicense%20 web lookup/search.aspx, Delaware Social Worker License Lookup. app.hbla.doh.dc.gov/web lookup, District of Columbia License Search. Florida's mentalhealthprofessions.gov, Florida Board of Clinical Social Work. doh.state.fl.us/irm00pras/pras list.asp, Florida medical license search includes social worker. Verify.sos.ga.gov/website/verification, Georgia license lookup, includes social worker. pvl.ehawaii.gov/pvl search, Hawaii license verification, includes social worker. secure.ebol.idaho.gov/eibol public/lpr browser.aspx, Idaho license lookup, includes social worker. ilesonline.idfpr.illinois.gov/lookup/license lookup.aspx, Illinois license lookup, including social worker. mylicense.in.gov/e-verification/search.aspx, Indiana license search, includes social worker. ibplicense.iowa.gov/public portal/iowa/ibpl/public-carch/public-carch.jsp, Iowa social worker license lookup. qnp.force.com/public/license verification social worker license search. labswe.org/index.cfm/licensee-search, Louisiana social worker license lookup. pfr.informe.org/omsonline/omsquery/search individual.aspx, Maine license lookup, includes social worker. mdbnc.dhmh.md.gov/bsway verification/default.aspx, Maryland social worker license verification. license.reg.state.ma.us/public/lick.asp $query=personal $color=red $board $SW, Massachusetts social worker license search. lara.state.mi.us/val/license/search license search, includes social worker. mn.gov/board/social-work/public/verify license.jsp social worker license lookup. renew.pr.mo.gov/licensee-search.asp, Missouri license search, includes social worker. ebis.mt.gov/poll, Montana license lookup, includes social worker. nebraska.gov/listsearch/search.cgi, Nebraska health license lookup, see mental health. newjersey.mylicense.com/verification/search.aspx, New Jersey license lookup, includes social workers. verification.rld.state.nm.us, New Mexico social worker license search. op.nis.gov/opsearches.htm, New York license verification, includes social worker. ncswboard.org/page/license-lookup, North Carolina social worker license lookup. license.ohio.gov/lookup/default.asp, Ohio social worker license search. ok.gov/medlic/social/licensee_search.php, Oklahoma social worker license lookup. hrlb.oregon.gov/blsw/licensee lookup/index.asp, Oregon social worker license lookup. licenspa.state.pa.us, Pennsylvania license verification, includes social worker. 209.222.157.144/redo_verification/search.aspx, facility =n and submit complaint =y, Rhode Island license lookup, includes social worker. verify.llronline.com/licklookup/lookupmain.aspx, South Carolina social worker license verification. apps.health.tn.gov/lickinsure, Tennessee license lookup, includes social worker. dshs.state.tx.us/socialwork/sw_search.shtm, Texas social worker license verification. secure.utah.gov/llv/search/index.html, Utah license verification, includes social worker. secure.vtprofessionals.org/lookup/license lookup.aspx, Vermont license lookup, includes social worker. dhp.virginiainteractive.org/lookup/index, Virginia Health License Lookup, includes social worker. Fortress.wa.gov/do/provider credential search, Washington Health License Lookup. app.wi.gov/licenses/earch, Wisconsin License Lookup, includes social worker. mentalhealth.wyo.gov/license-verification, Wyoming Social Worker License Search. Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Boards. abspa.alabama.gov, Alabama Board for Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology. commerce.alaska.gov/web/cbpl/professional licensing/audiologists and speech-language pathologists.aspx, Alaska Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing. azdhs.gov/licensing/special/index.php, Arizona Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing. abspa.com, Arkansas Board of Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology. slpub.ca.gov, California Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Board. colorado.gov/pacific/doras/speech_language_pathology, Colorado Speech-Language Pathology Licensing. ct.gov/dph/cwp/view.asp?*312-1$q=3895888$dphnav_gid=18221, Connecticut Speech Pathologist Licensing. dpr.delaware.gov/board/speech-audio/index.shtml, Delaware Board of Speech Pathologists and Audiologists. Florida SpeechAudiology.gov, Florida Board of Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology. sos.ga.gov/index.php/licensing/plb/49, Georgia State Board for Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology. idfpr.com/prof/speech-lang-audio.asp, Illinois Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing. in.gov/pla/speech.htm, Indiana Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Board. idph.iowa.gov/lickensure/iowa-board-of-speech-pathology-and-audiology, Iowa Speech Pathology and Audiology Examiners Board. kdads.ks.gov/commission/scc/health-occupations-credentialing, Kansas Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing. slp.ky.gov/pages/default.aspx Board of Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology. lbespa.org, Louisiana Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Board. state.me.us/pfr/professional licensing/profession/speech_audiology_hearing_aid/index.html, Maine Speech-Language Pathology Licensing. dhmh.maryland.gov/boards/ahs/pages/index.aspx, Maryland Board of Audiologists and Speech-Language Pathologists. mass.gov/dpl/board/sp, Massachusetts Board of Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology. msdh.state.ms.us/msdh-site/index.cfm/30, 082, HTML Department of Health Professional Licensure. b.bsd.dli.mt.gov/license/bsd_board/slp_board/page.asp, Montana Board of Speech-Language Pathologists and Audiologists. dhhs.ne.gov/publichealth/pages/crl_rcs_audio_audiology.aspx, Nebraska Audiology and Speech-Language Pathology Licensing. nvspeechhearing.org, Nevada Speech-Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing. New Jersey ConsumerAffairs.gov/AUD, New Jersey Audiology and Speech-Language Pathology Advisory Committee. rld.state.nm.us/board/speech_language_pathology_audiology_and_hearing_aid_dispensing_practices.aspx, New Mexico Speech Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing. op.nice.gov/prof/slpa, New York State Speech Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing. ncboslpa.org, North Carolina Board for Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. slpaud.ohio.gov, Ohio Board of Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. state.ok.us/obspa, Oklahoma Board for Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. oregon.gov/bspa/pages/index.aspx, Oregon Board for Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. dos.pa.gov/professional licensing/boards commission/speech-language pathology and audiology/pages/default.aspx, Pennsylvania Board of Speech Language and Hearing Examiners. health.ri.gov/licenses/detail.php?id =246, Rhode Island Board for Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. llr.state.sc.us/poll/speech/index.asp, South Carolina Board of Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. tn.gov/health/article/cds-co.edu, Tennessee Board of Communications Disorders and Sciences. dshs.state.tx.us/speech, Texas Board of Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. dopl.utah.gov/licensing/speech-pathology_and_audiology.html, Utah Speech Language Pathology and Audiology Licensing Board. sec.state.vt.us/professional-regulation/list-of-profession/speech-language-pathologists.aspx, Vermont Licensure of Speech-Language Pathologists. dhp.virginia.gov/aud, Virginia Board of Audiology and Speech Pathology. doh.wa.gov/licenses permits and certificates/professions Renew or PD8/speech language pathologist, Washington Board of Hearing and Speech. wvsbeechandaudiology.com, West Virginia Board for Speech Language Pathology and Audiology. dsps.wi.gov/boards-council/board-pages/hearing-and-speech-examining-board-main-page, Wisconsin Speech Language Pathologist Licensing. plboards.state.wy.us/speech/index.asp, Wyoming Board of Speech Pathology and Audiology. Chapter 3. Lists of Mental Health Organizations. The biggest list of psychology mental health organizations is at web.archive.org/web/20100008/http/www.cemit.com/cemit/orgza.html. This guy created this massive website of psychology organizations. Now it's dead except at archive.org. Find MH Psychology Societies. psychological-science.org/about/psychology-links. scholarly-societies.org/psychol_soc.html. scholarly-societies.org/neuropsychiatry_soc.html. cnbc.cmu.edu/other/homepages.html. Number sign societies, cognitive neuroscience societies maintained by the Center for the Neural Basis of Cognition at Carnegie Mellon University. neuroguide.com/neuroproforg.html, neuroscience professional organizations and meetings. cnbc.cmu.edu/other/homepages.html. Number sign societies, cognitive neuroscience societies. psych.stanford.edu/cogci/org.html, Cognitive Science and Psychology Societies. Chapter 4. MH Psychology Associations 1. MH Psychology Associations 1. AAMFT.org, American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy, AMFET, National Accrediting Body for Marriage and Family Therapists. CommunityPsychiatry.org, American Association of Community Psychiatrists, AACP. Psych.org, American Psychiatric Association. APNA.org, American Psychiatric Nurses Association, APNA. APA.org, American Psychological Association, APA. Clinical Social Work Association.org, Clinical Social Work Association, CSWA. NASMHPD.org, National Association of State Mental Health Program Directors, NASMPT. NRI-Inc.org, NASMPT Research Institute Incorporated. NRI, conducts research on state mental health systems. NACBHDD.org, National Association of County Behavioral Health and Developmental Disability Directors, NACBIT. TheNationalCouncil.org, National Council for Behavioral Health. NAPHS.org, National Association of Psychiatric Health Systems, NAPS. AHA.org, American Hospital Association, AHA. AAAI.org, American Association for Artificial Intelligence. AAAP.org, American Academy of Addiction Psychiatry. OBST.org, American Association of Brief and Strategic Therapists. AACAP.org, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. AAEM.net, American Association of Electrodiagnostic Medicine. AAFS.org, American Academy of Forensic Sciences. AAGPGPA.org, American Association for Geriatric Psychiatry. AAMR.org, American Association on Mental Retardation. AAN.com, American Academy of Neurology. ANC.org.ar, Asociación Argentina de Neurocirugía = Argentine Association of Neurosurgery in Spanish. AANS.org, American Association of Neurological Surgeons. AAPAinmanage.org, American Academy of Pain Management. AAPB.org, Association for Applied Psychophysiology and Biofeedback. ABAinternational.org, Association for Behavioral Analysis International. ABNeuro.org, Academia Brasileira de Neurologia = Brazilian Academy of Neurology in Portuguese. ABP.org.br, Associação Brasileira de Psican and Estudo, LISA = Brazilian Psychoanalysis Association in Portuguese and English. abpbrasil.org.br, Associa and Xadil, and Atilda, O. Brasileira de Psychiatria = Brazilian Association of Psychiatry in Portuguese. abpmc.org.br, Associa and Xadil, and Atilda, O. Brasileira de Psicoterapia e Medicina Comportamental = Brazilian Association of Psychology and Behavioral Medicine in Portuguese. academicpsychclinicalscience.org, Academy of Psychological Clinical Science. ACCP.org.au, Australian College of Clinical Psychologists. ACCP.org.au, Australian College of Psychologists. ACHEMS.org, Association for Chemoreception Sciences covers basic and clinical chemosensory research, research on taste and smell. ACNP.org, American College of Neuropsychopharmacology. ACNP.org, American College of Neuropsychopharmacology. ACNS.org, American Clinical Neurophysiology Society. Acoustics.org, Acoustical Society of America. ADTIA.org, American Dance Therapy Association. AEDweb.org, Academy for Eating Disorders. AEPIA.org, Asociación ESPA and Entilda, Ola para la Inteligencia Artificial = Spanish Association for Artificial Intelligence in Spanish. AEPU.fr, Asociación de Enseñanza de Psicología de Universitats, Asociación de Enseñanza de Psicología de Universitats, Association of University Psychology Teachers. AESnet.org, American Epilepsy Society. AFIA-France.org, Association Fran and Xadil, Eyes pour l'intelligence artificielle = French Association for Artificial Intelligence in French. AFIHM.org, Association Francophone d'Interaction en Machine = Francophone Association for Man-Machine Interaction in French. ag.arizona.edu/SCA, Social Science Computing Association. agpia.org, American Group Psychotherapy Association. ahpweb.org, Association for Humanistic Psychology. aid.inf.ed.ac.uk/aidsoc.html, International Artificial Intelligence in Education Society. asb.org.uk, Society for the Study of Artificial Intelligence and the Simulation of Behavior. ixia.it, Associazione Italiana per l'Intelligenza Artificiale = Italian Association for Artificial Intelligence in English and Italian. AMERSA.org, Association for Medical Education and Research in Substance Abuse. AMPAINSOC.org, American Pain Society. ANAUROA.org, American Neurological Association. AnimalBehavior.org, Animal Behavior Society = Animal Behavior Society. AnimalBehaviorSociety.org, Animal Behavior Society. ANS.org.au, Australian Neuroscience Society. AOOP.org, Academy of Organizational and Occupational Psychiatry. APA.org, American Psychological Association. APALweb.org, Association Psyche and EASUD, Tricada AM and EQUID, Rica Latina = Psychiatric Association of Latin America in Spanish. APM.org, Academy of Psychosomatic Medicine. app-panama.org, Association Paname and N tilde, a de Psicólogos = Association Paname and N tilde, a de Psicólogas = Panamanian Association of Psychologists in Spanish. APSA.org, American Psychoanalytic Association. APSI.ro, Associa and #355, IA Psychologilar din Rom and A Circ, NIA = Associatia Psychologilar din Romania = Romanian Psychologists Association in Romanian. AppCentral.org, Association for Psychological Type Utilizing Instruments such as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. Asaging.org, American Society on Aging. Assam.org, American Society of Addiction Medicine. ascofasi.org.co, Association Colombiana de Facultades de Psicologia, Association Colombiana de Facultades de Psicologia, Colombian Association of Psychology Faculties. ASCPP.org, American Society of Clinical Psychopharmacology. ASDA.org, American Sleep Disorders Association. ASDreams.org, Association for the Study of Dreams. ASEAN-neurology.org, ASEAN Neurological Association. ASEAN = Association of Southeast Asian Nations. In English. ASHA.org, American Speech Language Hearing Association. ASK.or.kr, Acoustical Society of Korea in Korean. ASNeurochem.org, American Society for Neurochemistry. ASNM.org, American Society of Neurophysiological Monitoring. ASNR.org, American Society of Neuroradiology. ASNTR.org, American Society for Neural Transplantation and Repair. ASNweb.org, American Society of Neuroimaging. ASBPR.org, Asociación de Psicología de Puerto Rico = Asociación de Psicólogos de Puerto Rico = Association of Psychologists of Puerto Rico in Spanish. ASBR.com, American Society for Psychical Research. ASSC.caltech.edu, Association for the Scientific Study of Consciousness. ATSS-HQ.com, Association of Traumatic Stress Specialists. AUPN.org, Association of University Professors of Neurology. AustralianNeurologists.com, Australian Association of Neurologists. babcp.org.uk, British Association for Behavioural and Cognitive Psychotherapies. bap.org.uk, British Association for Psychopharmacology. BAPS.be, Belgian Association for Psychological Sciences. bcs-hci.org.uk, British Human-Computer Interaction Group. The British Human-Computer Interaction Group was set up as a specialist group of the British Computer Society in 1984. bdp-verband.org, Berufsverband Deutscher Psychologinnen und Psychologen equals Association of German Professional Psychologists in German. Behavior.org/index.php, Cambridge Centre for Behavioral Studies. Behavioraltoxicology.org, Behavioral Toxicology Society concerns scientific research into the effects of toxic agents on behavior and the nervous system. BGA.org, Behavior Genetics Association. Birthpsychology.com, Association for Pre- and Perinatal Psychology and Health equals Association for Prenatal and Perinatal Psychology and Health equals Association of Prenatal and Perinatal Psychology and Health. bna.org.uk, British Neuroscience Association. bop.or.at, Berufsverband and UML, Steirikischer Psychologinnen und Psychologen equals Professional Association of Austrian Psychologists in German. bps.org.uk, British Psychological Society. Brunswick.org, Brunswick Society. The Brunswick Society is an informal association of researchers who are interested in understanding and improving human judgment and decision-making. Members of the society share an appreciation of the work of the psychologist Egon Brunswick. bvp-sbp.be, Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Belge de Psychologie equals Belgisk Vereniging voor Psychologie equals Belgian Psychological Society in English. can-acn.org, Canadian Association for Neuroscience equals Association Canadienne de Neurosciences in English and French. klpa.ca, Canadian Association of Speech-Language Pathologists and Audiologists equals Association Canadienne de Orthophonistes et Audiologists. cinp.org, Collegium Internationale Neuropsychopharmacologicum equals International College of Neuropsychopharmacology in English. cmps.ecn.cz/? Page =ONAS, Czech Moravian Psychological Society, Czech Moravian Psychological Society. cnps.cz, and #268, Esk and Easud, Neuropsychopharmacologic and Easud, Spol and #269, Nost equals Czech Neuropsychopharmacological Society in Czech and English. cogneurosociety.org, Cognitive Neuroscience Society. cognitivescience-society.org, Cognitive Science Society. cognitivescience-society.org/index.html, Cognitive Science Society, Cognitive Science Society. cogitech.org, Cognitive Technology Society concerns the impact on human cognition of developments in information technology. colegiopsychologos.cl, Colegio de Psicólogos de Chile equals College of Psychologists of Chile in Spanish. comparativepsychology.org, International Society for Comparative Psychology. consumerpsych.org, Society for Consumer Psychology Division 23 of the American Psychological Association, APA. cop.es, Colegio Oficial de Psicólogos equals Spanish Psychological Association in Spanish. cos.io, Center for Open Science. cpa.ca, Canadian Psychological Association equals Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Canadienne de Psychologie. cpa-apc.org, Canadian Psychiatric Association equals Association de Psychiatres du Canada in English. cpdd.org, College on Problems of Drug Dependence. cplol.org, Comet and Equid, Permanent de Liaison de Orthophonistes/Logop and Egrave, de l'Union Euro and Equid, N equals Standing Liaison Committee of EU. Speech and Language Therapists and Logopedists in French and English. cpsbeijing.org, Chinese Psychological Society in Chinese. csbbcs.org, Canadian Society for Brain Behavior and Cognitive Science. cscuzzy.org, Canadian Society for Computational Studies of Intelligence equals Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Canadienne pour L and Equid, 2 de L Intelligence par Ordinateur. csicop.org, Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal. CSS.to, Canadian Sleep Society equals Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Canadi and du Sommeil in English. CUR.org, Council on Undergraduate Research. scipsa.org.cy. dgn.org, Deutsche Gesellschaft f and Jumel, R. Neurologie equals German Society for Neurology in German. dgnc.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft f and Jumel, R. Neurochirurgie equals German Society for Neurosurgery in German. dgnn.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft f and Jumel, R. Neuropathologie und Neuroanatomie equals German Society for Neuropathology and Neuroanatomy in German and English. dgps.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft f and Jumel, R. Psychologie equals German Psychological Society in English and German. dgps.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Psychologie, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Psychologie, German Psychological Society. disstudies.org, Society for Disability Studies. dp.dk, Dansk Psykologforening equals Danish Psychological Association in Danish. dsfn.dk, Dansk Selskab for Neurovidenskab equals Danish Society for Neuroscience in Danish and English. eaap.net, European Association for Aviation Psychology. eaclpp.org, European Association for Consultation Liaison Psychiatry and Psychosomatics. EANS.org, European Association of Neurosurgical Societies in English. ea-ohp.org, European Academy of Occupational Health Psychology. eapia-homepage.org, European Association of Psychological Assessment. eapp.org, European Association of Personality Psychology. eapp.org, European Association of Personality Psychology. easp.eu, European Association of Social Psychology. easternpsychological.org, Eastern Psychological Association. Eastern equals easternu.s.a. eawop.org, European Association of Work and Organizational Psychology. ebs-science.org, European Brain and Behavior Society in English. ebs-science.org/cms, the European Brain and Behavior Society. ebps.org, European Behavioral Pharmacology Society in English. eccai.org, European Coordinating Committee for Artificial Intelligence. eps.net, European Health Psychology Society. eparanm.org, Egyptian Psychologists Association in Arabic. eps.ac.uk, Experimental Psychology Society. ergonomics.org.uk, Ergonomics Society. ergonomics.org.uk, Institute of Ergonomics and Human Factors. escop.eu, European Society for Cognitive Psychology. escop.org, European Society for Cognitive Psychology in English. esp.info/home.83.0.html, European Association of Developmental Psychology. esnpn.org, Egyptian Society of Neurology, Psychiatry, and Neurosurgery in Arabic and English. esnr.org, European Society of Neuroradiology in English. esrs.org, European Sleep Research Society in English. sces.org, European Society for Traumatic Stress Studies. evolution.antharo.universitye.ac.at/ishi.html, International Society for Human Ethology. fabs.org, Federation of Associations in Brain and Behavioral Sciences. fens.org, Federation of European Neuroscience Societies in English. fesn.eu, Federation of the European Societies of Neuropsychology. geron.org, Gerontological Society of America. graphology.asso.fr, Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Fran and Xadil, Is de Graphology equals French Society of Graphology in French and English. Concerned with the study of personality through handwriting. hbes.com, Human Behavior and Evolution Society. hfes.org, Human Factors and Ergonomics Society. hfes.org/web/default.aspx, Human Factors and Ergonomics Society. himsci.org, Himpunan Psychology Indonesia equals Indonesian Psychological Association in Indonesian and English. hipnosisclinica.org, Sociedad de Hipnoterapia Clínica equals Clinical Hypnotherapy Society in Spanish. A professional body covering Spanish-speaking areas of the world. hipnosisclinica.org, Sociedad de Hipnoterapia Clínica equals Clinical Hypnotherapy Society in Spanish. A professional body covering Spanish-speaking areas of the world. hkghp.org, Hong Kong Guild of Hypnotherapist and Psychotherapist in Chinese and English. hkps.org.hk, Hong Kong Psychological Society in English. iapsi.org, International Association of Applied Psychology equals Association Internationale de Psychologie Appliquée and Étude, e. iapsi.org, International Association of Applied Psychology. iaccp.org, International Association for Cross-Cultural Psychology. iapac.org, International Association of Physicians in AIDS Care. iasp-pain.org, International Association for the Study of Pain. ibngs.org, International Behavioral and Neural Genetics Society. ibro.org, International Brain Research Organization equals Organisation Internationale de Recherche sur le Cerveau. icahdq.org, International Communication Association. Focused on human communication. Founded 1950. icben.org, International Commission on Biological Effects of Noise. iea.cc, International Ergonomics Association. igbp.org, Interdisciplinary Society of Biological Psychiatry in English. ins.org, International Neural Network Society. ipa-online.org, International Psychogeriatric Association. isaac-online.org, International Society for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. The mission of ISAC is to improve communication and the quality of life for people with severe communication impairments. isabs.org, Indian Society for Applied Behavioral Science in English. iscar.org, International Society for Cultural and Activity Research. isca-speech.org, International Speech Communication Association. iscc.org, Inter-Society Color Council. isdp.org, International Society for Developmental Psychobiology. isisweb.org, International Society on Infant Studies. isisweb.org/view/0/index.html, International Society on Infant Studies. isls.org, International Society of the Learning Sciences. isnr.org, International Society for Neuronal Regulation. isnv.org, International Society for Neurovirology. isbne.org, International Society of Psychoneuroendocrinology. isbp.org, International Society of Political Psychology. isbzo.org, International Society for the Psychoanalytic Study of Organizations. isbweb.org, International Society for Psychophysics. isrsociety.com, International Society for Research on Aggression. issbd.org/contentdisplay.aspx?src Home, International Society for the Study of Behavioral Development. issd.org, International Society for the Study of Dissociation. Research in, diagnosis of, and treatment of dissociative disorders, for example, multiple personality disorder. issid.org, International Society for the Study of Individual Differences. issls.org, International Society for the Study of the Lumbar Spine. issbd.com, International Society for the Study of Personality Disorders in English, French and Spanish. iscs.org, International Society for Traumatic Stress Studies. itaa-net.org, International Transactional Analysis Association. iupsis.net, International Union of Psychological Science. iupsis.org, International Union of Psychological Science equals Union Internationale de Psychologie Scientifique, mostly in English, some French. jnns.org, Nihon Shinkai Gakai equals Japanese Neural Network Society in Japanese and English. KoreanPsychology.or.kr, Korean Psychological Association in Korean. KSBNS.org, Korean Society for Brain and Neuroscience in Korean and English. LawandSociety.org, Law and Society Association members bring training in law, sociology, political science, psychology, anthropology, economics and history, as well as in other related areas. Listen.org, International Listening Association. To promote the study, development, and teaching of effective listening in all settings. MathPsych.org, Society for Mathematical Psychology, Society for Mathematical Psychology. MovementDisorders.org, Movement Disorder Society. MPT.hu, Magyar Psychology and Easud, Arses and Easud, G equals Hungarian Psychological Association in Hungarian. MyCP.org, Society for Consumer Psychology. NAZO.org, North American Association for the Study of Obesity. NAID.net, National Association for Developmental Education. nanonline.org/default.aspx, National Academy of Neuropsychology. nas.edu, National Academy of Sciences, National Academy of Sciences. ncss.org, National Council for the Social Studies. Neuro.it, Societe Integrave, Italiana di Neurologia equals Italian Society of Neurology in Italian. Neuro.or.kr, Korean Neurological Association in Korean. Neuro.or.th, Neurosurgical Association of Thailand in English. Neurochem.org, International Society for Neurochemistry. Neurocirugía.cl, Sociedad de Neurocirugía de Chile equals Neurosurgical Society of Chile in Spanish. Neurocirugíaparaguay.com, Sociedad Paraguaya de Neurocirugía equals Paraguayan Society of Neurosurgery in Spanish. Neuroethology.org, International Society for Neuroethology. Neurologia.com.mx, Academia Mexicana de Neurología equals Mexican Academy of Neurology in Spanish. Neurology.ma, Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Marocain de Neurologie equals Moroccan Society of Neurology in French. Neurology-jp.org, Nihon Shinkai Gakai equals Japanese Society of Neurology equals Societas Neurologica Japonica in Japanese and English. Neuromodulation.org, American Neuromodulation Society. NeuronET-acn.com, Asociación Colombiana de Neurocirugía equals Colombian Association of Neurosurgery in Spanish. Neuropsychology.dk, Selskabet Dansk Neuropsykologer equals Danish Neuropsychological Society in Danish and English. Neurosciences.aso.fr, Soci and Equid, T and Equid, de Neurosciences equals Society for Neurosciences in French. Neurosociety.india.com, Neurological Society of India in English. Neveropsyk.org, Norsk Nevropsykologisk Forening equals Norwegian Neuropsychological Association in Norwegian and English. NVNeuropsy.nl, Nederlandse Vereniging voor Neuropsychology equals Netherlands Society for Neuropsychology in Dutch. NVNeuropsy.nl, Nederlandse Vereniging voor Neuropsychology equals Netherlands Society for Neuropsychology in Dutch. NVVN.org, Nederlandse Vereniging van Neurochirurgen equals Dutch Association of Neurosurgeons in Dutch. OEGUI.at, and UML, Sterikische Gesellschaft F and UML, are Artificial Intelligence equals Austrian Society for Artificial Intelligence in German. OEGN.at, and UML, Sterikische Gesellschaft F and UML, are Neurology equals Austrian Society for Neurology in German. PainMed.org, American Academy of Pain Medicine. PACNeurosurgery.org, Pakistan Society of Neurosurgeons in English. pantheon.yale.edu/tat22, Society for a Science of Clinical Psychology. Parapsych.org, Parapsychological Association. PCSAS.org, Psychological Clinical Science Accreditation System. Piaget.org, Jean Piaget Society, Society for the Study of Knowledge and Development. Piaget.org, Jean Piaget Society. PNA.org.ph, Philippine Neurological Association in English. PPA.org.ph, Philippine Psychiatric Association in English. Psybeta.org/site, Psybeta. PSICHI.org, Psychi. PsyColoradoGuia.org.mx, Sociedad Mexicana de Psicología = Mexican Psychological Society in Spanish. Psychologia.hr, Hrvatsko Psyhala and #353, Kodru and #353, TiVo = Croatian Psychological Society in Serbo-Croatian. PsyHQ.org, Psychological Society of Ireland = Cuman Psycholatheran in English. Psycholog.org.tr, T and Yomel, RK Psychologlardern and #287, I = Turkish Psychological Association in Turkish and English. PsyPanama.org, Sociedad Paname and Antilda, a de Psychiatria = Panamanian Society of Psychiatry in Spanish. PSY.gr, Panhellenio Psychologikos Syllagos = Panhellenic Psychological Association in Greek. Psych.org, American Psychiatric Association. Psychoanalysis.org.il, Israel Psychoanalytic Society = Israeli Psychoanalytic Society in Hebrew and English. Psychologicalscience.org, American Psychological Society. Psychology.org.au, Australian Psychological Society. Psychology.org.il, Israel Psychological Association in Hebrew. Psychology.org.nz, New Zealand Psychological Society. Psychology-bg.org, Bulgarian Psychological Society in Bulgarian. Psychometricsociety.org, Psychometric Society. Psychonomic.org, Psychonomic Society, Scientific Research in Psychology and Allied Sciences. Psychonomic.org, Psychonomic Society. Psychol.no, Norsk Psykologforening = Norwegian Psychological Association in Norwegian. Psykologforbundet.se, Sveriges Psykolog and Umel, Rbund = Swedish Psychological Association in Swedish. Cynet.ch/con/cms/front_content.php?IDC @=48 number sign 038 changelang =1, Cynet.ch. Cynip.nl, Netherlands Instituut van Psychologen = Dutch Institute of Psychologists in Dutch. The Professional Association of Psychologists in the Netherlands. Psycsa.co.za, Psychological Society of South Africa in English. RAI.org, Russian Association of Artificial Intelligence in Russian. rcpsych.ac.uk, Royal College of Psychiatrists. rcpsycht.org, Royal College of Psychiatrists of Thailand in Thai. Reading.org, International Reading Association. rsn.ro, Societate Romana de Neurochirurgie = Romanian Society of Neurosurgery in English. sag.org.ar, Sociedad Argentina de Gerontología y Geriatría = Argentine Society of Gerontology and Geriatrics in Spanish. sais.org.se, Svenska AIS and AUML, Lskapet = Swedish Artificial Intelligence Society in Swedish and English. Solace.org, Substance Abuse Librarians and Information Specialists. sbn.com.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Neurocirurgia = Brazilian Society of Neurosurgery in Portuguese. sbponline.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Psicologia = Brazilian Psychological Society in Portuguese. Scholarly-societies.org. Sci.p.ws, Society for Computers in Psychology. SEN.ES, Sociedad and N tilde, Ola de Neurologia equals Spanish Society of Neurology in Spanish. Sensi.es, Sociedad and N tilde, Ola de Neurociencia equals Spanish Society of Neuroscience in Spanish and English. SESP.org, Society of Experimental Social Psychology. Sexology.org, Deutsche Gesellschaft f and Jumel, R. Sozialwissenschaft like Sexualforschung equals German Society for Social Scientific Sex Research in German with some English. Sexscience.org, Society for the Scientific Study of Sexuality. SFN.org, Society for Neuroscience. SFPSI.org, Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Fran and Xadil, Is de Psychologie equals French Society of Psychology in French. SGAICO.ch, Swiss Group for Artificial Intelligence and Cognitive Science in English. SHAS.org.sg, Speech Language and Hearing Association, Singapore in English. SIA.org.au, Safety Institute of Australia. SIECUS.org, Sexuality Information and Education Council of the United States. SIOP.org, Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology. SIPS.it, Societe Integrave, Italiana di Psicologia equals Italian Society of Psychology in Italian. SIPS.it, Italian Psychological Society. siren.dsi.unimi.it/main.php, Societe Integrave, Italiana Rete Neuroniche equals Italian Neural Networks Society in Italian and English. SJDM.org, Society for Judgment and Decision Making. SLP.lu, Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Luxembourgeoise de Psychologie equals Luxembourg Psychological Society in French. SMEPI.it, Societe Integrave, Medica Italiana di Psicoterapia e Ipnosi equals Italian Medical Society for Psychotherapy and Hypnosis in Italian. SNN.ro, Societatea Națională de Neurosciențe equals National Neurosciences Society of Romania in Romanian and English. SON.com, Sociedad Andaluza de Neurocirugía equals Andalusian Society of Neurosurgery in Spanish. SOBP.org, Society of Biological Psychiatry. Societyforchaostheory.org, Society for Chaos Theory in Psychology and the Life Sciences. Societyforchaostheory.org, Society for Chaos Theory in Psychology and #038, Life Sciences, Society for Chaos Theory in Psychology and Life Sciences. Societyns.org, Society of Neurological Surgeons. Sonpsin.cl, Sociedad de Neurologia, Psiquiatria y Neurocirugía de Chile equals Society of Neurology, Psychiatry, and Neurosurgery of Chile in Spanish. Speechpathologyaustralia.org.au, Speech Pathology Association of Australia equals Speech Pathology Australia. SPNEurologia.org, Sociedade Portuguesa de Neurologia equals Portuguese Neurological Society in Portuguese. SPNN.org.pa, Sociedad Paname and N tilde, a de Neurocirugía y Neurologia equals Panamanian Society for Neurosurgery and Neurology in Spanish. SPR.ac.uk, Society for Psychical Research. SPRweb.org, Society for Psychophysiological Research. SPSP.org, Society for Personality and Social Psychology. SPSP.site-im.com, Society for Personality and Social Psychology. SPSSI.org, Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues. The Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues constitutes Division 9 of the American Psychological Association. SPSSI.org, Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues. SQUB.psychology.org, Society for the Quantitative Analyses of Behavior equals Society for Quantitative Analyses of Behavior. SRCD.org, Society for Research in Child Development. SSCPweb.org, Society for a Science of Clinical Psychology. SSIB.org/web, Society for the Study of Ingestive Behaviors. sspd.org.uk, Society for Stimulus Properties of Drugs. Studying the drugs used to treat mental illnesses and the substances which produce drug dependence, addiction. ssp-sgp.ch, Schweizerische F and Jomel, R Psychologie equals Soci and Equid, T and Equid, Swiss de Psychologie equals Swiss Psychological Society in English, German and French. star-society.org, Stress and Anxiety Research Society. STEs.fi, Suomen-Teko and Aumel, Lisurari equals Finnish Artificial Intelligence Society in Finnish and English. sun.soci.niu.edu/SSBP, Southern Society for Philosophy and Psychology. svnc.com.ve, Sociedad Venezolana de Neurocirugía equals Venezuelan Society of Neurosurgery in Spanish. teachpsych.org, Society for the Teaching of Psychology. ThaiPsychiatrist.com, Psychiatric Association of Thailand in Thai. theabn.org, Association of British Neurologists. thefederationonline.org, Federation of Behavioral, Psychological, and Cognitive Sciences. thesem.org, Society for the Study of Motivation. trungshamanism.com, World Transhumanist Association. trincal.edu/departments/ecopseek/ISCP, International Society for Ecological Psychology. The International Society for Ecological Psychology is a scholarly organization for researchers and practitioners in the natural, social, and applied sciences, the humanities, the fine arts and many subdisciplines of psychology. trincal.edu/departments/ecopseek/ISCP, International Society for Ecological Psychology. tsrs.org.tr, Turkish Sleep Research Society in Turkish. turk-eegemg.org, Turkish Society of Clinical Neurophysiology, EEGEMG in Turkish and English. turkeneurodern.org.tr, Turkish Neurological Society in Turkish. unesco.org/ngo/ISSC, International Social Science Council equals Conseil International de Sciences Sociales equals Consejo Internacional de Ciencias Sociales equals Internationalrat F and Jomel, R Sozialwissenschaften in English. A site maintained for the ISSC by UNESCO. userpage.fu-berlin.de/health/is.htm, International Society of Health Psychology Research. vi.se/ssls, Svenska S and Aumel, Lskapet F and Umel, RL and Aumel, RAND system equals Swedish Learning System Society in Swedish and English. wfmh.org, World Federation for Mental Health equals F and Equid, D and Equid, Ration Mondiale pour la Santé and Equid, Mental in English. wfneurology.org, World Federation of Neurology. wfns.org, World Federation of Neurosurgical Societies in English. wfsrs.org, World Federation of Sleep Research Societies. wpanet.org, World Psychiatric Association. ai.ijs.si/slays, Slovenian Artificial Intelligence Society in English and Slovenian. Chapter 5. MH Psychology Associations 2. MH Psychology Associations 2. OBST.org, American Association of Brief and Strategic Therapists, OBST. AGPA.org, American Group Psychotherapy Association, AGPA. APSA.org, American Psychoanalytic Association, APSAA. APA.org, American Psychological Association. PsychologicalScience.org, American Psychological Society. ASPPR.org, Asociación de Psicología de Puerto Rico, Asociación de Psicólogos de Puerto Rico, Association of Psychologists of Puerto Rico, in Spanish, APPR. app-panama.org, Asociación Panameña de Psicólogos, Asociación Panameña de Psicólogos, Panamanian Association of Psychologists, in Spanish, app. APSI.ro, Associatia Psychologilar din Rom and A Circ, NIA, Associatia Psychologilar din Romania, Romanian Psychologists Association, in Romanian, APR. abp.org.br, Associação Brasileira de Psicanálise, Brazilian Psychoanalysis Association, in Portuguese and English. appcentral.org, Association for Psychological Type, utilizing instruments such as the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, .apt. asdreams.org, Association for the Study of Dreams. ACCP.org.au, Australian College of Clinical Psychologists. Psychology.org.au, Australian Psychological Society. BDP-verband.org, Berufsverband Deutscher Psychologinnen und Psychologen, Association of German Professional Psychologists, in German, BDP. bop.or.at, Berufsverband and UML, Steirikischer Psychologinnen und Psychologen, Professional Association of Austrian Psychologists, in German, B and UMLP. babcp.org.uk, British Association for Behavioural and Cognitive Psychotherapies, BOB. bps.org.uk, British Psychological Society. cpa.ca, Canadian Psychological Association, Société Canadienne de Psychologie, CPA, SCP. cscuzzy.org, Canadian Society for Computational Studies of Intelligence, Société Canadienne pour l'étude de l'intelligence PAR. Colegio Psicologos.cl, Colegio de Psicólogos de Chile, College of Psychologists of Chile, in Spanish, CPC. COP.es, Colegio Oficial de Psicólogos, Spanish Psychological Association, in Spanish, COP. DP.dk, Dansk Psykologforening, Danish Psychological Association, in Danish, DP. DGPS.de, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Psychologie, German Psychological Society, in English and German, DGPs. Sexology.org, Deutsche Gesellschaft für Sozialwissenschaftliche Sexualforschung, German Society for Social Scientific Sex Research, in German with some English, DGSS. Psychology-bg.org. EasternPsychological.org, Eastern Psychological Association, Eastern, easternu.s.a, EPA. EPARANM.org. Egyptian Psychologists Association, in Arabic, RANM, EPA. EA-OHP.org, European Academy of Occupational Health Psychology. EAPP.org, European Association of Personality Psychology, EAPP. EAPA-homepage.org, European Association of Psychological Assessment, EAPA. ESCOP.org, European Society for Cognitive Psychology, in English, ESCOP. HIMPSI.org, Himpunan Psikologi Indonesia, Indonesian Psychological Association, in Indonesian and English, HIMPSI. Psychologijae.hr, Hrvatsko Psyhala and hashtag 353, Kodru and hashtag 353, TiVo, Croatian Psychological Society, in Serbo-Croatian, HPD. ISABS.org, Indian Society for Applied Behavioral Science, in English, ISABS. IAPSI.org, International Association of Applied Psychology, Association Internationale de Psychologie Appliquée, IAAP, AIPA. Reading.org, International Reading Association. ISBWeb.org, International Society for Psychophysics. ISSD.org, International Society for the Study of Dissociation, Research in, Diagnosis of, and Treatment of Dissociative Disorders, for example, Multiple Personality Disorder, ISSD. ISSID.org, International Society for the Study of Individual Differences, ISID. ISLS.org, International Society of the Learning Sciences. ITAA-net.org, International Transactional Analysis Association. IUPSIS.org, International Union of Psychological Science, Union Internationale de Psychologie Scientifique, mostly in English. Some French, IUCIS. Psychoanalysis.org.il. Israel Psychoanalytic Society, Israeli Psychoanalytic Society in Hebrew and English. Psychology.org.il. Israel Psychological Association, in Hebrew. Korean Psychology.or.kr, Korean Psychological Association, in Korean. MPT.hu, Magyar Psychology Törzség, Hungarian Psychological Association, in Hungarian, MPT. Synip.nl, Netherlands Instituut van Psychologen, Dutch Institute of Psychologists, in Dutch. The Professional Association of Psychologists in the Netherlands, NIP. NVNeuropsy.nl, Nederlandse Vereniging voor Neuropsychology, Netherlands Society for Neuropsychology, in Dutch. Psychology.org.nz, New Zealand Psychological Society, NZPSS. Psychol.no, Norsk Psykologforening, Norwegian Psychological Association, in Norwegian, NPF. PSY.gr. Panhellenio Psychologikos Syllagos, Panhellenic Psychological Association, in Greek, PPSS, PPSA. Parapsych.org, Parapsychological Association. PsyHQ.org, Psychological Society of Ireland, Cuman Psycholatherin, in English. PsySSA.co.za, Psychological Society of South Africa, in English, PsySSA. Psychonomic.org, Psychonomic Society, Scientific Research in Psychology and Allied Sciences. SSP-SGP.ch, Schweizerische Gesellschaft für Psychologie, Société Suisse de Psychologie, Swiss Psychological Society, in English, German and French, SGP, SSP. Hypnosisclinica.org, Sociedad de Hipnoterapia Clínica, Clinical Hypnotherapy Society, in Spanish. Psycholoradoguia.org.mx, Sociedad Mexicana de Psicología, Mexican Psychological Society, in Spanish, SMP. sbponline.org.br, Sociedade Brasileira de Psicologia, Brazilian Psychological Society, in Portuguese. SIPS.it, Societe Italiana di Psicologia, Italian Society of Psychology, in Italian, SIPS. bvp-sbp.be, Société Belge de Psychologie, Belgisch Vereniging voor Psychologie, Belgian Psychological Society, in English, SBP, BVP, BPS. Graphology.asso.fr, Société Française de Graphologie, French Society of Graphology, in French and English. Concerned with the study of personality through handwriting, SFDG. sfpsy.org, Société Française de Psychologie, French Society of Psychology, in French. slp.lu, Société Luxembourgeoise de Psychologie, Luxembourg Psychological Society, in French. Pantheon.yale.edu/tat22, Society for a Science of Clinical Psychology, SSCP. spsp.org, Society for Personality and Social Psychology, SPSP. sprweb.org, Society for Psychophysiological Research. spssi.org, Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues. The Society for the Psychological Study of Social Issues constitutes Division 9 of the American Psychological Association, SPSI. sun.soci.niu.edu/SSBP, Southern Society for Philosophy and Psychology. scipsa.org.cy. Sundesmos Psychologos Kypro, Cyprus Psychologists Association, in Greek. Psychologförbundet.se, Sveriges Psykolog and Umel, Rebund, Swedish Psychological Association, in Swedish. psycholog.org.tr, Turk Psykologlar and #287, Turkish Psychological Association, in Turkish and English, TPD, TPA. hkps.org.hk. Xiangang Xinli Suohui. Hong Kong Psychological Society, in English, HKPS. cpsbeijing.org. Zhenqiu Xinli Suohui. Chinese Psychological Society, in Chinese. Chapter 6. MH Psychology Associations 3. Big list of specific mental health psychology organization websites. AAMP.org, American Association of Anger Management Providers. AACAP.org, ASAP, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. AACAP.org, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, ASAP. AACAP.org, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. AACAP.org, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychology. AACPsy.org, American Academy of Clinical Psychology. AAETS.org, the American Academy of Experts in Traumatic Stress. AAGPGPA.org, American Association for Geriatric Psychiatry. AAMFT.org, American Association for Marriage and Family Therapy. AAPweb.com, American Academy of Psychotherapists. AATH.org, American Association for Therapeutic Humor. ABCT.org, Association for Behavioral and Cognitive Therapies. ABPP.org, American Board of Professional Psychology. ACO.org, American Childhood Cancer Organization. ACF.HHS.gov, Department of Health and Human Services, Administration for Children and Families. ACMHA.org. ACMHA.org, American College of Mental Health Administration. ACNP.org/default.aspx, American College of Neuropsychopharmacology. ACNP.org/default.aspx $page=home, ACNP. acto-uk.org. acto-uk.org, Association for Counseling and Therapy Online. ADA.org, ADAA. ADA.org, Anxiety and Depression Association of America. AddictionResourceGuide.com, Addiction Resource Guide. AdResources.org, Ad Resources. AFSP.org. AFSP.org, AFSP. AFSP.org, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. AFSP. AFSP.org, American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. AFT.org.uk. AFT.org.uk, Association for Family Therapy and Systemic Practice in the UK. AHPP.org. AHPP.org, Association of Humanistic Psychology Practitioners. AIM.org, Academy of Integrative Health and Medicine. AMA-association.org, American Medical Association. AmericanPsychotherapy.com. AmericanPsychotherapy.com, American Psychotherapy Association. AMORTHO.org. AMORTHO.org, American Orthopsychiatric Association. AMCA.org. AMCA.org, American Mental Health Counselors Association. Anxiety.org, Anxiety.org. APA.org, American Psychological Association. APA.org, American Psychological Association. APA.org/practice, APA Practice Directorate. APNA.org, American Psychiatric Nurses Association. APNA.org, American Psychiatric Nurses Association. APNA.org, APNA. APOnline.org. APOnline.org, Association of Practicing Psychologists. ARDA-NE.org, American Residential Treatment Association. AVAPL.org. AVAPL.org, Association of VA Psychologist Leaders. BACP.co.uk, British Association for Counsellors and Psychotherapists. Bazelon.org, Baseline Centre. bbrfoundation.org, Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. bhevolution.org, Behavioral Health Evolution. biobalance.org.au. biobalance.org.au, BioBalance Health Incorporated. bipolarcaregivers.org, Bipolar Caregivers. bipolar-lives.com/bipolar-det.html Bipolar Det. birthpsychology.org, Association for Birth Psychology. bpchildren.com, bpchildren.com. bpdresourcecenter.org, Borderline Personality Disorder, BPD, Resource Center. bpdworld.org, Borderline Personality Disorder, BPD, World. bphope.com. btpnews.com, Biological Therapies in Psychiatry, BTP, Newsletter for Physicians. bu.edu/sarpsych/job school, Center for Psychiatric Rehabilitation. cagp.ca. cagp.ca, Canadian Academy of Geriatric Psychiatry CAGP. camft.org. camft.org, California Association of Marriage and Family Therapists. cbscares.tv, CBS Cares. ccarafmi.org.au. ccarafmi.org.au, Central Coast RAFMI. cdc.gov, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. sense2psy.org. sense2psy.org, Psychiatric Studies Center. centerformh.org. centerformh.org, Center for Mental Health, partnering to improve lives. chad.org, Chad. chad.org, Children and Adults with Attention Deficit Disorder. cherrytreenursery.org.uk. cherrytreenursery.org.uk, Cherry Tree Sheltered Work Opportunities Project. clinical-depression.co.uk, Depression Learning Path Depression Recovery Groups. clinicaltrials.com, Community Outreach Network Clinical Trials. cmha.ca, Canadian Mental Health Association. cmha-rmd.com, Canadian Mental Health Association, Richmond, BC, branch. cms.hhs.gov/medicaid/consumer.asp, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. cms.hhs.gov/medicaid/consumer.asp, CMS. coastmentalhealth.com, Coast Mental Health. commongroundhelps.org, Common Ground, nonprofit crisis intervention agency with a mission to provide a lifeline for individuals and families in crisis. 1-800-231-1127. counseling.org, American Counseling Association. counseling.org, American Counseling Association. crisistextline.org, Crisis Text Line. Text start to 741 to 741. cup.cpmdq.com, Canadian Union of Professional Psychotherapists. cwlaw.org, Child Welfare League of America. cwlaw.org, CWLA. dana.org, Dana Alliance for Brain Initiatives. depression.com.au, Depression Resources for Australia. depressionboards.com/forum, Psychology and Mental Health Forum, Mental Health. depressioncalculator.org/welcome.asp, Depression Calculator, calculating the impact of depression in the workplace and the benefits of treatment. depressioncenter.org, University of Michigan Depression Center. depression-guide.com/index.htm, Depression Guide. depression-helper.com, Depression Helper. depressionnews.org, depressionnews.org. depressionrecoverygroups.com, Depression Recovery Groups. division42.org, APA Division 42, Psychologists in Independent Practice. dol.gov/odp/return-to-work, Return to Work Toolkit for Employees and Employers. dougie.org, the Dougie Center for Grieving Children and Families. Diarata.org, Depression and Related Affective Disorders Association. Eagala.org. Eagala.org, Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association. EAP-association.com, Employee Assistance Professionals Association. EatNews.org. EatNews.org, European Association for Transactional Analysis ETA. ECPP.org, European Confederation of Psychoanalytic Psychotherapies ECPP. EDAP.org, Eating Disorders Awareness and Prevention. Electroboy.com, electroboy.com. elhogarinc.org. elhogarinc.org, El Community Services Incorporated. emdiria.org. emdiria.org, Eye Movement Desensitization and Reprocessing International Association. emedicine.health.com/collection/co1588.asp, eMedicine Consumer Health. facingus.org. factsforhealth.org, Facts for Health. familiesusa.org, Families USA, the voice for healthcare consumers. familyaware.org. familyaware.org, Families for Depression Awareness. flapsych.com. flapsych.com, Florida Psychological Association. forum.psychlinks.ca. foundationcenter.org, the Foundation Center foundation grants to individuals. freedomfromfear.org, Freedom from Fear. gestalttechnique.org. gestalttechnique.org, Gestalt Center for Psychotherapy and Training. gnif.org. gnif.org, Global Neuroscience Initiative Foundation. goodtherapy.org, goodtherapy.org, helping people find therapists and advocating for ethical therapy. guardourhealth.com, Guard Your Health, information and resources on health and medical readiness. healthcare411.ahrq.gov, AHRQ. healthcare411.ahrq.gov, Healthcare 411, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. healthfulchat.org, Mental Earth Community, Mental Illness/Disorders, healthywomen.org, National Women's Health Resource Center. healthpsych.com, Health Psychology and Rehabilitation. healthrecovery.org. healthrecovery.org, Institute for Health and Recovery. helpguide.org, Help Guide. hopeline.com, National Hope Line Network, Kristen Brooks Hope Center. hopetocope.com, Esperanza, a magazine for those living with depression and anxiety. hopetocope.com/social. hopetocope.com/social, Healthful Chat, Mental and Physical Health. hprt-cambridge.org. hprt-cambridge.org, Harvard Program in Refugee Trauma. hypnotherapy-association.org. hypnotherapy-association.org, British Hypnotherapy Association. iccd.org, International Center for Clubhouse Development. icpeast.org. icpeast.org, Institute of Contemporary Psychotherapy and Psychoanalysis. inawebsite.org. inawebsite.org, International Neuropsychiatric Association official website. Integrative Medicine for Mental Health.com, IMMH. Integrative Medicine for Mental Health.com, Integrative Medicine for Mental Health. IntegrativeTherapy.com, Institute for Integrative Psychotherapy. IntrusiveThoughts.org, Intrusive Thoughts, Massachusetts General Hospital Bipolar Clinic and Research Program. iop.kcl.ac.uk/iop/prt/default.htm, The Psychiatry Research Trust. ipa.org.uk. ipa.org.uk, International Psychoanalytical Association. ipa-online.org. ipa-online.org, Psychogeriatrics. isbd.org, International Society for Bipolar Disorders. isbd.org/edcenter/index.asp, isbd. ismho.org. ISMHO.org, International Society for Mental Health Online. ISMHO.org, International Society for Mental Health Online. ISBZO.org. ISBZO.org, International Society for the Psychoanalytic Study of Organizations. ITAA-net.org. ITAA-net.org, International Transactional Analysis Association. K12academics.com/bipolar_disorder.htm, bipolar disorder K12 academics. LDSAMCAP.org, Association of Mormon Counselors and Psychotherapists. LearnPsychology.org, Careers in Psychology. LookingGlass.org, Through the Looking Glass. MacMHP.org. MacMHP.org, Minnesota Association of Community Mental Health Programs Incorporated. MakeTheConnection.net, Make the Connection, connect with other veterans with shared experiences. massgeneral.org/psychiatry/research, Massachusetts General Hospital Bipolar Clinic and Research Program. mayoclinic.org/depression, Mayo Clinic Depression Diagnosis and Treatment Options. mdjunction.com/support-groups, mdjunction.com People Helping People Online Support Groups. mehlfoundation.org, Maureen J. Meal Bipolar/BPD Foundation Incorporated. menetdepression.com, Men Get Depression National Educational Outreach. menshealthnetwork.org, Men's Health Network. mentalearth.com, Depression Boards, Depression. mentalhealth.org, Center for Mental Health Services. mentalhealth.org, CMHS. mentalhealth.org.uk, Mental Health Foundation. mentalhealth.samhsa.gov, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services. mentalhealthamerica.net. mentalhealthamerica.net, Mental Health America. mentalhealthcommission.org.cy/n, Cyprus Mental Health Commission. mentalhealthgracealliance.org. mentalhealthgracealliance.org, Christian Mental Health and Mental Illness, Mental Health Grace Alliance. mentalhealthscreening.org. mentalhealthscreening.org, Screening for Mental Health. mesotheliomaveterans.org, Veterans with Mesothelioma. The Mesothelioma Veterans Center was created to provide information and assistance to veterans regarding treatment, clinical trials, and VA benefits for veterans suffering from asbestos illnesses. mhf.org.au. mhf.org.au, Mental Health Foundation. mmh.edu, Missouri Institute of Mental Health. mind.org.uk. mind.org.uk, Mind. mooddisorderscanada.ca, Mood Disorders Society of Canada. mrc-apu.cam.ac.uk, Medical Research Council Applied Psychology Unit. mri.org. mri.org, Mental Research Institute. mybetterrx.com, RxCut Plus, Prescription Savings Card. mymedicarematters.org, My Medicare Matters. mymedicarematters.org. nacbt.org. nacbt.org, National Association of Cognitive Behavioral Therapists. nadaI.us. nadaI.us, National Association of Drug and Alcohol Intervention. NAMI.org, NAMI. NAMI.org, National Alliance for the Mentally Ill, NAMI. NAMI.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI.org/veterans, NAMI Veterans and Military Resource Center, NAMI Resources. NARZAD.org. NARZAD.org, Brain and Behavior Research Foundation. NARZAD.org, NARSAD. NARZAD.org, National Alliance for Research on Schizophrenia and Depression. NASMHPD.org. NASMHPD.org, the National Association of State Mental Health Program Directors. National Clearinghouse for Alcohol and Drug Information. NationalCASA.org, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. National Psychodrama Training Center.com, National Psychodrama Training Center. nationalregister.org, nationalregister.org, National Register of Health Service Psychologists. ncadi.samhsa.gov, National Clearinghouse for Alcohol and Drug Information. nia.nih.gov, National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. nida.nih.gov, National Institute on Drug Abuse. nih.gov, National Institute of Health. nih.gov, NIH. NIMH Mood and Anxiety Disorders Program. nimh.nih.gov. nimh.nih.gov, National Institute of Mental Health. 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 nlm.nih.gov, National Library of Medicine. nmha.org, Mental Health America, formerly, National Mental Health Association. nmha.org, MHA. nmha.org, National Mental Health Association. nmha.org, National Mental Health Association. npi.ukla.edu/ukla-mdrp, UCLA Mood Disorders Research Program. nwaps.org. nwaps.org, Northwest Alliance for Psychoanalytic Study. nwen.org, National Women's Health Network. nwen.org, NWHN. ocfoundation.org, Obsessive Compulsive Foundation. Ontario.cmha.ca, Canadian Mental Health Association, Ontario Division. Orthome.org. Orthome.org, International Society for Orthomolecular Medicine. patdeegan.com, Pat Deegan, Ph.D. and Associates. peerleadershipcenter.org, join the Peer Leadership Center. peerleadershipcenter.org/plc/certified_peer_specialists.asp, learn about peer specialists. phrma.org, PHRMA. ppfoundation.org. ppfoundation.org, the Penny Parks Foundation. prairie-stjohns.com, Prairie St. John's Hospital. primals.org. primals.org, International Primal Association. prit.go.jp, Tokyo Institute of Psychiatry. psych.org. psych.org, American Psychiatric Association. psych.org, American Psychiatric Association. psych.uic.edu/uicnrdc/self-determination.htm, UIC National Research and Training Center on Psychiatric Disability. psychforums.com, psychlinks, psychology, self-help and mental health. psychfoundation.org. psychfoundation.org, American Psychiatric Foundation. psychologicalscience.org, American Psychological Society. psychotherapyresearch.org, Society for Psychotherapy Research. ptsdalliance.org, Post-Traumatic Stress Disorder, PTSD, Alliance. pwdf.org, People with Disabilities Foundation. RebeccaCutlerFoundation.org, Rebecca Lynn Cutler Legacy of Life Foundation Recovery Incorporated. Recovery.org, Recovery.org. Recovery-inc.org, Recovery Incorporated. Reintegration.com, Center for Reintegration. Reintegration.com, Helping Move Lives Forward Reintegration Awards. Riverparkhospital.net, River Park Hospital. Rosehillcenter.org. Rosehillcenter.org, Rosehill Center. samhsa.gov, SAMHSA. samhsa.gov, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. samhsa.gov/centers/cmhs/cmhs.html, Center for Mental Health Services. santray.org. santray.org, the Santray Network. schizophreniadigest.com, Schizophrenia Digest. ScottsdalePsychologicalSociety.org. ScottsdalePsychologicalSociety.org, Scottsdale Psychological Society. Selfinjury.com, S.A.F.E, help treat, prevent and stop self-injury, self-abuse and cutting. SEPIweb.org, Society for the Exploration of Psychotherapy Integration. SESP.org, Society of Experimental Social Psychology. SESP.org, Society of Experimental Social Psychology. Signsofaddiction.org, Signs of Addiction. Silverribbon.org, Silver Ribbon Campaign for the Brain. SOBP.org. SOBP.org, Society of Biological Psychiatry. SpanUSA.org, SPAN. SpanUSA.org, Suicide Prevention Advocacy Network. SBRC.org/index.asp, Suicide Prevention Resource Center. SBSP.org, Society for Personality and Social Psychology. SBSP.org, Society for Personality and Social Psychology. SSA.gov/disability, Social Security Administration. Stand.org, Stand for Children. StantonFarm.org, Stanton Farm Foundation, Southwestern Pennsylvania. StressMGT.net/groups.htm, Anxiety and Stress Management Institute. SuicidePrevention.com.au, Suicide Prevention, Prevent Depression and Overdose in Youths and Teens. SuicidePreventionLifeline.org, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline Crisis Line, 1-800-273-TALK, 8255. Suicidology.org, AAS. Suicidology.org, American Association of Suicidology. TalkingCure.com. TalkingCure.com, Institute for the Study of Therapeutic Change. TeenCentral.net, TeenCentral.net. TeenDrugAbuse.us, Teen Drug Abuse. TheKettle.ca. TheKettle.ca, The Kettle Friendship Society. Thomas.loc.gov, Thomas Legislative Information Resources and Information for Military and Veteran Peers. Tompkins.org. Tompkins.org, Sylvan S. Tompkins Institute. UPENNRRTC.org, Temple University Collaborative on Community Integration. USATAA.org. USATAA.org, United States of America Transactional Analysis Association. VA.gov/VetsinWorkplace, Veterans Employment Toolkit, Resources for Employment. VAcareers.va.gov/peer-to-peer/index.asp, VA Peer Support Positions, Information on VA Peer Support Employment. VDBS.org. VDBS.org, Violent Death Bereavement Society. Vet2VE2SA.org, Vet2Vet USA, Facilitator Training and Partnerships. Veterantraining.va.gov, VA Online Self-Help Resource Center, online skill-building courses designed for veterans, service members, and their families. Vitamins-nutrition.org, Vitamins and Nutrition Center. WFMH.com. WFMH.com, World Federation for Mental Health. WFMH.org, World Federation for Mental Health. WomensMentalHealth.org, Perinatal and Reproductive Psychiatry Program at the Massachusetts General Hospital. WorkplaceMentalHealth.org, National Partnership for Workplace Mental Health. WoundedWarriorProject.org, Wounded Warrior Project, to honor and empower wounded warriors. AACAP.org, ASAP, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. WoundedWarriorProject.org, Wounded Warrior Project, to honor and empower wounded warriors. Chapter 7. Mental Health Organization Addresses and Websites. A bill. Support JUG for agoraphobics. Panic and Anxiety Disorders. 3805 Cutchaw Avenue. Number 415. Richmond, Virginia 23230. 804-353-3964. Fax, 804-353-3687. abil1996@aol.com. Academy of Aphasia. UCLA. Department of Linguistics. Los Angeles, California, 90024. 310-206-3206. UCLA.edu. Medical specialists who study the effects of brain injury on intellectual function. Advocates for freedom in mental health. 4448 Francis, Kansas City, Kansas, 66103. 913-236-9312. Alliance for the Liberation of Mental Patients. 1427 Walnut Street, 4th FL, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19102. 215-903-3828. American Academy of Psychiatry and the Law. POB 30. 1, Regency Drive, Bloomfield, CT 06002-21201. 800-331-1389. 860-242-5450. Fax, 860-286-0787. execoff@aapl.org. cc.emory.edu/aapl/index.html. aapl.org. American Counseling Association. 5999 Stevenson Avenue, Alexandria, Virginia, 22304-3300. 703-823-9800. Fax, 703-823-0252. 800-347-6647. 800-545-2223. Counseling.org. American Institute of Stress. 124 Park Avenue, Yonkers, New York, 10703. 800-4RELAX. 800-247-3529. Stress.org. All-around support group providing referrals, resources, and treatment. American Mental Health Association. 1021 Prince Street, Alexandria, Virginia, 22043. 703-684-7722. 800-433-5959. 212-737-9027, New York. All-around support group providing referrals, resources, and treatment. American Mental Health Counselors Association. 801 North Fairfax Street, number 304. Alexandria, Virginia, 22314. 800-326-2642. American Philosophical Practitioners Association. 212-650-7827. APA.edu. American Psychological Association. 750 1st Street Northeast, Washington, D.C. 20002. 202-336-5500. 800-374-2721. APA.org. Listing of members. American Psychiatric Association. 1400 St. N.W. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-682-6220. Psych.org. APA.com. Artists Anonymous. 212-969-0144. Association for Retarded Citizens. 500 East Border Street, 3rd FL, Arlington, Texas 76010. 817-261-6003. Serves the entire country. Association for the Advancement of Behavior Therapy. 305 7th Avenue, NYC 10001. 212-647-1890. Association of Black Psychologists. epub 55999. Washington, D.C. 20040. 202-722-0808. Attachment Disorders Parents Network. epub 18475. Boulder, Colorado 80308. 303-443-1446. Batterers Anonymous. 1269 Annie Street, San Bernardino, California 92405. 714-884-6808. Bay Area Committee for Alternatives to Psychiatry. 944 Market Street, number 701. San Francisco, California 94102. 415-982-7799. Boston Associates. To Stop Treatment Abuse. 528 Franklin Street, Cambridge, Massachusetts 02139. 617-661-4667. Helps people abused by counselors. Bridge, the 248 West 108th Street, NYC 10025. 212-663-3000. Mental Health Facility for Extremely and Homeless Mentally Ill People. Canadian Mental Health Association. 550 Sherbrooke Street West, number 310. Montreal, QCH 301B9. 514-849-3291. CMHA.ca. Canadian Psychological Association. 151 Slater Street, number 205. Ottawa, on KIP 5H3. 613-237-2144. Fax, 613-237-1674. CPA.ca. Center for Psychiatric Rehabilitation. 930 Commonwealth Avenue, Boston University, Boston, Massachusetts 02215. 617-353-3549. web.bu.edu/sarpsych. Resource Center for Chronic Mental Illness. Changing Attitudes in Recovery. CARE. Psychological Association. Press. 706 13th Street, Modesto, California 95354. 209-577-1667. General Mental Health Resources. Codependence Anonymous. epub 33577. Phoenix, Arizona 85067. 602-277-7991. 12-step program for people who want functional relationships, usually geared for the dependent, helping type. Community Network Development Project. Florida Mental Health Institute. 13301 North 30th Street, Tampa, Florida 33612. 813-974-4672. Concerned Agoraphobics. Learning to Live. 380 Tulsa Way, San Luis Obispo, California 93405. 805-543-3764. Consumer Information Center. Pueblo, C0801009. 719-948-4000. 888-8 Pueblo. Pueblo.gsa.gov. CPI National Crisis Prevention Institute. 800-558-8976. Free Catalog. Deaf Reach. 3521 12th Street Northeast, Washington, D.C. 20017. 202-832-6681. Service Provider to Deaf, Mentally Ill People. Debtors Anonymous. epub 20322. NYC 10025. 212-642-8222. For people who can't manage their money. Emotional Health Anonymous. 2420 San Gabriel Boulevard, Rosemead, California 91770, 818-573-5482. Support organization for people recovering from emotional problems. Emotions Anonymous. POG 4245. St. Paul, Minnesota 55104. 612-647-9712. Fax, 612-647-1593. mtn.org/ea. Support organization for people recovering from emotional problems such as anxiety and depression. Families Anonymous. POG 528. Van Nuys, California 91408. 818-989-7841. 800-736-9805. Helps with severe family crises, particularly those involving substance abuse. Fear of Success Anonymous. 16161 Ventura Boulevard, number 727. Encino, California 91436. 818-907-3953. Fly Without Fear. 310 Madison Avenue, NYC 10017. 212-697-7666. Lectures, workshops, etc. for profit to help overcome the fear of airplanes. Foundation for Elective Mutism. POB 7845. Rego PK, New York 11374-9998. 718-997-0057. Support group for either adults or children who are shy or refuse to speak in social situations. Grow Incorporated. 301 West White Street, Box 3667. Champaign, Illinois 61821. 217-352-6989. Support group for people with psychiatric disorders. Grow International. 225 Weymouth Road, Box 212. Vineland, New Jersey 08360. 609-794-1033. 609-691-3663. General Mental Health Support. Helping Hands. 86 Poor Street, Andover, Massachusetts 01810. 508-475-3388. Support group for depressed, manic-depressive and schizophrenic people. Hawk Foundation for Mental Health. Box 7998, University Sta. University of Texas, Austin, Texas 78712. 512-471-5041. Several books and pamphlets on mental health and helps mentally ill in Texas. Huxley Institute for Biosocial Research. 900 North Federal Highway, number 330. Boca Raton, Florida 33432. 407-393-6167. 800-847-3802. Research and training organization concerned with mental disorders and rehabilitation. Offers educational information to the public. Infinite Odyssey, Wilderness Adventures. 25 Huntington Avenue, number 324. Boston, Massachusetts 02116. 617-353-1793. A secular group that creates rituals for life transitions like wilderness experiences. Institute for Advanced Psychology. 1550 California Street, San Francisco, California 94109. 415-928-1829. Institute for the Development of Emotional and Life Skills. POB 391. State College, Pennsylvania 16804. 814-237-4805. All-around support group providing referrals, resources, and treatment. Institute for Labor and Mental Health. 3137 Telegraph Avenue, Oakland, California 94609. 415-653-6166. Support Organization for Occupational Stress. International Association for Clear Thinking. 3939 West Spencer Street, Pog 1011. Appleton, Wisconsin 54912. 800-236-8311. 414-739-8311. Stress reduction workshops and such. International Society for the Study of Multiple Personality and Dissociation. 2506 Grosse Pointe, RD. Evanston, Illinois 60201. 312-475-7532. Judge David L. Baselin. Center for Mental Health Law. 1101 15th Street Northwest, number 1212. Washington, D.C. 20005-5002. 202-467-5730. 202-467-4232. Fax, 202-223-0409. M. Mental Health Law Project. 1220 19th Street Northwest, number 300. Washington, D.C. 20036. 202-467-5730. Mental Health Legal Resource Center. 740 15th Street Northwest, 9th FL. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-662-1570. 202-662-0132. Abanet.org. Mental Illness Anonymous. St. Mary's Episcopal Church, 1895 Laurel Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota 55106. 612-646-6175. General Mental Health Fellowship. Mental Patients Association. 2146 U Street, Vancouver, BCV 6K3G7. 604-738-1422. Mentally Ill Recovering Alcoholics. POB 8335. Rolling Meadows, Illinois 60008. 312-530-5380. Mental Research Institute. 555 Middlefield Road, Palo Alto, California 94301. 415-321-3055. Support Organization with clinics in eating disorders, depression, etc. National Alliance for the Mentally Ill. 2107 Wilson Boulevard, number 200. Arlington, Virginia 22201-3042. 703-524-7600. 800-950 NAMI. NAMI.org. NAMICalifornia.org. NAMIOC.org, Orange County. Legal, emotional, and practical support for the mentally ill. National Alliance for the Mentally Ill. Forensic Network. 2001 Catnip Hill Road, Nicholasville, Kentucky 40356. 606-887-2851. 800-950-8600. 703-524-7600, Virginia. Support group for families of mentally ill people who are incarcerated within the criminal justice system. National Association for Rural Mental Health. 301 East Armour Boulevard, number 420. Kansas City, Missouri 64111. 816-756-3140. Support organization that strives to promote effective mental health treatment in rural areas. Psymeet.com, go here to get the website link for many psychology organizations. See an organization, click it, then click again to get the website. Chapter 3. A list of mental health organizations from verywell.com. A list of mental health organizations at verywell.com/leading-mental-health-charities-and-organizations-4147842. verywell.com/leading-mental-health-charities-and-organizations-4147842. facebook.com/verywell. verywell.com/mental-health-help-401482. mentalhealthamerica.net, Mental Health America.